Cannot tell, man. I think we're live. But when I pull it up on my browser, it doesn't show it as live. So I don't know. Oh, we're live. We're live. Okay, I think we're live. Fantastic. Okay. Audio's quiet though. Unsure why. I'll fiddle around in here a little bit and see.
Oh, thanks for lighting up the lantern for me.
Hi, Marcus.
Is it this time of the day already?
Alright. While Thursday and Sophia gazed at the sea together, discussing patterns hidden in the lines of seashells zigzag. Home the tide washed over their ankles in a song from Sophia's hometown. Yeah. It's the song that played in the event, I'm assuming. Alright. Go ahead and click this real quick. I missed the sign-in thing. Whoops. We do like start or thingy. Alright. We're gonna run through dailies real quick while I try to figure out why the audio is so shit. Yeah. I'm not sure why it's like super quiet, but we will figure that out while I run through dailies. So I ran through, well, I didn't run through, I skipped through chapter 5. I actually did write chapter 6 as well, but just so I could farm this thing. I haven't actually gone through story, so I don't know what happened still. Am I 256 is not. Oh. Alright, so while that's running, why is it so fucking loud, bro? Let's turn this down a bit. Why? Why is my audio so quiet? Or my mic? Noise gates. I don't know how to do these fucking filters, but surely if I change something here, it'll fix it, right? Oh, son of a bitch. It is, I believe it's, 4 times, or double these things here, yeah. Let's run through this 6 times, actually. I don't know why the first 2 don't count. Kind of annoying. How? Close threshold, open threshold. I can just put in like a volume booster thing, right? Gain. I don't think that actually helps though. Test. Alright, you know what? We're just gonna leave gain at like +5. It seems to be boosting something at least. Yeah, let me know if the audio's shit, because I'm just fiddling with stuff right now. I mean, more shit than usual, at least. Alright. This left of, yeah, I don't know why it doesn't just give you all 4. Like, it doesn't count the 2 free ones for the day, which is kind of annoying. Okay, I think that's okay for the audio. just a little bit.
Wait,
Alright.
was I helpful, timekeeper?
Sure. Alright. Let's level one person up real quick. 20.
You'd better really have something.
I'm neither in Romania.
And that's Cap, nice. I think I'm a little bit behind on jukebox. I should make it at the end though, so it's fine. Please. Let me run one more Rayashki run just when not capped out. Alright. And then we can get started, yeah?
Great, I can't read or transcribe. It hurts! And now it's easier to understand. Like
Let me actually
Great.
pull this up real quick. Please don't lag, please don't lag, please don't lag. Alright, we're fine. So I just wanna
To read.
check while this is running, yeah?
You have done well, comrade.
Alright, that sounds better. Fantastic. Cool. So that's done. We're basically... Whoops. Alright, so I did just skip through to the first hard mode. I haven't actually read through the story, so we're gonna start at the very beginning. I still don't know what the story's about besides Russia. Let's go. Oh, whoops. I've been doing that. A message that is less than ideal. Welcoming ceremony. Okay.
I once traveled to a small town called Rayashki. It was located high up within the Arctic Circle.
Is this Best Merit again?
It was frigid.
Yo, Mask, welcome in. How are you?
After my visit there, I traveled to many more places. From Zealand to the Balkan Peninsula, my journey went on and on. But above all other places, I kept finding my thoughts returning to that little town, to its incandescent lights glowing in the long dark of the polar night, to the shared dream of the people there.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is Best Merit again. Oh, hello, Tuhi. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you?
It is a children's book, a thin one at that. But the story inside has the power to warm a frigid heart. Once opened, wells of bright primary colors run into one another and flow up onto my palm. I found myself returning to it during stormy days when I was stuck at home.
Alright. So I know the general time period of this, right? It's supposed to be 1996-ish, right?
Ordinary people.
Honest and ordinary people. But beyond that, I don't really know. Though for a thing set in 1996, it does seem outdated. Like the way manners of speech and stuff, and just the general aesthetic. Seems a lot older than you'd expect.
The swans are dancing.
The game's audio is kind of low. Yeah, let me push that up then.
Back and forth.
I boosted it a bit. Let me know how that turns out. Swans are dancing in a circle. They don't go back and forth.
Ela and the swans have done this dance almost 20 times last week. She taught the swans all their beautiful moves.
I'm assuming this is August thing.
One lick is the best
August.
ballet ever. I remembered Mr. Avgeni once said so.
Jenny.
He also said the tortoises would come to watch the show. But why would tortoises want to watch Swan Lake? Vila says she doesn't like the tortoises. She likes knowledge. I don't know much about knowledge.
It's okay now? Yep, okay, cool. Cool.
Vila's always right. Only between you and me? Vila smells like seaweed and coral. But those are happy smells to me. I think she must be the princess of the ocean. But she tells us she is not special. And that everyone here is equal. No matter if they are a princess or a swan.
Someone assumed they don't know Villa is a,
And 10 fingers. And if we all work together,
is a Rusalka.
we can build the beacon to the future. I hope in the future we still get to sing and dance. When we are not building beacons. Nina's favorite food is called alonka. It's a chocolate bar. She used
This
to
map appears
fly
in Savannah's in
over
1.1 where
the
she's
secret
part of Blue
dancer.
2. Okay.
But then Vila talked to her.
So
Now
Bismarck
she
is
doesn't
here
cry
again.
so much.
She's been hopping around a bit, hasn't she?
One time, she danced very, very perfectly. So, Vila gave her a piece of an alonka bar.
Oh my
I
god.
believe she will be a great dancer. If she doesn't get too nervous on stage, then she could have even more chocolate. I wish I was like her. I want chocolate too, but I'm not a swan like her. And now, there's never any Alyonka in the canteen's cupboard.
Alyonka. It's very bright for
Nina
a
is
Russian-based
the
event.
Swan Princess. The most prettiest of all swans. Basono is the Swan Prince. He is a nice one, and he has many, many swan friends. And Piotr is the evil sorcerer, a black swan. Nobody wanted to be the bad guy, but Piotr doesn't mind. He is very
why am I getting
serious and
a little
always bossy to everyone, so he doesn't have many swan friends.
Damn.
Piotr just wants to do his job as perfectly as he can. Because he loves our town. Now, August is not a swan, but he also loves his town. Then there is a little mouse who moves as quickly as the blowing wind. Will it be our new visitor? What was it that Vila said about new visitors? I don't remember now.
August puts down his paper, returning to the world of noise and people. He looks around for a familiar face.
Vila!
The boy slips through the crowd until at last he finds that face looking out over a snowy field. Oh look, it's Villa. Vila.
Reporting to you, Comrade Vila. I have a very important question.
Well, then go ahead, little Comrade Avgust.
How should we receive the new visitors coming to town? Maybe we can welcome them with Zelyanka? Or friendship? Or maybe something else?
We will welcome them with white snow, with smiles on our faces, and with welcoming arms we use to achieve our dreams, as we do for everyone who comes here, little comrade.
Vila wipes away the paint from the child's face and stands.
It's always good to ask questions. But don't forget your task today, all right?
She points to the unfinished painting in his hand.
Oh!
Avgust nods eagerly.
I won't. My drawings are important. But Vila says entertaining our new friends is also important. Which one comes first?
He holds up his cluttered drawing board.
After the swans have flown away, Evgeny will go up to the stage. Evgeny is not an evil sorcerer, but he knows a secret magic that makes everyone's tongues hide in their mouths. He is not so much a bad person, I think. Evgeny's shadow is very long, but no one, not even my sunflower, can explain why. Evgeny walks heavily onto the stage. His appearance comes without any applause.
The tall figure reaches the podium.
We have received a telegraph. Zeno's investigators will arrive here in Rayashki tomorrow afternoon. And
Right,
we
Zeno's involved.
will be hosting a welcome ceremony.
The crowd is silent in reply.
I understand your concerns. I know
This event is very
you don't
linear and
want
easy to
Zeno
follow, I think. Okay.
interfere with
I mean, it
your
makes sense. It's a bit of a side
Nor do
story,
you
right?
want there
It's not like
to
really a
be
main
station here.
thing. I kind of see it as like sort of a
And I would remind
spin-off,
you that they
kind
have
of.
honored their side of the deal for decades now.
A calloused hand rises up to break the silence.
We give them runium ore, and they supply us in return. It should be as simple as that. Always it has been this way, since my grandfather's time.
Right.
Times have changed, Comrade Knut. In the old days, Zeno used to pay us generously for mining this runium, because our ore was necessary for their arcane combat vehicles. But now, we have nearly exhausted all our mines. You know this better than I do.
But isn't there some other work we can do? Already we build our own houses, and now we even grow our own crops.
He's right. Why must we work with Zeno if we could feed ourselves?
Comrades, calm yourselves. Evgeny is doing this for everybody's sake. Have you forgotten about those little monsters? Is there anyone left on our defense team that hasn't been injured fighting them?
This merge appears in chronological time in 1.8, then 1.6, and 1.1. Yeah.
It
Yep,
is
yep,
as
yep.
Comrade Nikita said. The critters are running rampant these days. Not only have they occupied most of our mines, some have even found their way into the town.
1.1 was 66, right? So technically, if we're going chronologically, that should come first. Before, Rayashki. But if we're going by storm time, then that should be... If we're going by storm time, 1.8 should be last, I think. Because that happens after the main story, I believe. The critters are running rampant these days. Not only have they occupied most of our mines, some have even found their way into the town.
Do you really think we can protect our people with our small defense team? Don't you care about your neighbor's safety? Do you want to keep Rayashki an isolated town just to let it die?
Rayashki is more than an isolated town, Evgeny. And we all know that.
But this is the reality.
I didn't notice she had scales
We all
on her
must
face.
face now.
The scales on Villa's... Okay, there you go. Villa's face rise involuntarily. She holds her stare. Workers, cooks, security personnel. Soon all of Rayashki has joined in.
Comrade Evgeny, it was your idea to turn to these Zeno big guys for help. But you never even asked what we think, did you? So you can't blame us for disagreeing now.
I'm doing this for your good.
Why does he get to decide that? His assurances did not seem to have much impact on the crowd. A cold wind passes across the square.
We can take care of ourselves.
She has more to say, but as she moves to speak, her scales stand on edge and shiver audibly. She holds her hand up, signaling to the crowd. There is a scent on the wind. Danger is near. Roars. A horde of hairy critters burst into the square.
Everyone, watch out!
He picks up a wooden chair to fend them off.
Defense team! On it!
Whales. Oh, right, this is after the combat, I'm assuming. The critters flee in a panic. Nothing else, the attacks serve to bring the town together again.
I salute your sense of smell, Comrade Villa. We could have suffered much more severe consequences without your forewarning.
Handshakes and salutes are shared, their dispute now absent from anyone's mind.
Think nothing of it. It's just a reflex reaction when there's danger nearby.
She touches her scales, pressing them down until they settle.
But
W
this incursion
description.
has proved my point. We need Zeno's help. The other townspeople are not gifted with your set of talents. We are all vulnerable to the growing dangers. Wouldn't you agree? I only ask you to put yourself in their shoes.
He speaks softly, evenly, but even so, the words land like a heavy blow.
Your criticism is valid and well accepted, Comrade Yevgeny. Perhaps I could agree with your plan. Provided Zeno's presence is a temporary one, we just don't want them to change things for us here.
Yeah, I feel like that's not going to happen. The atmosphere in the square moves from joyful to serious as the meaning of their words takes hold.
I'm glad that you have finally come to realize what is best for us. Zeno is known for their rigorous methods and rational decision-making, and they are committed to maintaining peace around the world. I'm sure they will make the right decision. They trusted us to supply their ore, and we have faithfully played our part in supporting them. Thanks to our help, Zeno has successfully tackled many international issues. It has always been them and us together, fighting for a better world.
Feels like this guy's just gunning for the promotion.
When he puts it that way, he is right. We should be proud of our cooperation.
Even without a punchline, Knut's deep belly laugh breaks the tension.
Therefore, we will show our appreciation to Zeno for the contributions they've made to the world with our help. Now let's continue our rehearsals.
As the adults return to their duties, a sharp-eyed child notices that someone is missing.
Have you seen August? I can't
A
find him.
Eh?
Strange. Where did he go?
Looking for a new Lincoln left in the cupboards, I'd bet. He's always breaking the rules, doing whatever he wants.
This is the kid no one likes, right? I remember that from the
Badly
description.
about our classmate Piotr. He's one of us.
Piotr lowers his head, his face crumpling, until at last he lets out a grumble fit for a bear.
Yes, you're right. I just wanted everyone to do their best. Even him.
Don't worry, kids.
Damn.
We will find them.
Philip pats Nina's shoulder softly.
A child is missing, Comrade Yevgeny. I suggest a temporary suspension of our rehearsals.
Really pretty eyes. Evgeny murmurs a half response until he catches the weight of her words.
It must be that strange kid again. He is always sneaking away like this.
Avgust has been no small trouble in the past. Evgeny frowns, but Villa's determined glare tells him no is not an acceptable answer.
He's only trying to understand the world in his own way.
I'm assuming this town is mostly human. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting out of it. Alright, so if Gus has gone missing. Oh, they changed a little one. There. Big discoveries. Visitors often come unannounced and without warning. What's your opinion on the events so far? I like the vibes. I mean, we've only done chapter 1, so there's not much to go off there. The atmosphere is very, very nice. The sense I'm getting from this, it's going to be more of a one-off kind of side story type event, so I'm not expecting any huge lore revelations or anything like that. But maybe some information, we'll see. The question of where their curious little dreamer has disappeared soon becomes a true conundrum. As their search through the dockyard, the post office, and even the town phone booth reveals no trace of him. This is, of course, because he has assigned himself to a more critical mission, welcoming newcomers. A difficult task, especially when it leads him so far away. But he is not alone. His sunflower hops along with him. Abandoned vine. Oh, he's gone off.
Mila once said that sunflowers mean warmth, and that makes them everyone's friend.
Where did this kid even get a sunflower in the middle of, like, fuck-ass nowhere?
They would warmly welcome every guest that comes to town.
I don't even think
Just like my
sunflowers are
best
native
friend
to
here,
Russia. Like, this thing had to be
right?
imported. He raises the sunflower in his hand and whispers softly to its petals.
Best friends. Everyone should have a best friend.
This kid is playing with a fucking magic rock. That can't be good for you. He then picks up the pendant. Following his whispers, the pendant emits a faint glow. Okay, so his magic is, making things grow, I guess.
Alright. Now here are big friends, small friends, many friends.
Is this Arcanum just, like, powered down Drugus?
So that our new guests won't feel so lonely when they come.
The small footprints continue forward through the snow, imprinting over older, larger steps. It will be explained right. Yeah, yeah, there we go. He is nearly caught up with Rayashki's newest guest. Oh boy.
Amazing. I've never seen such a highly mutated Ijirak before.
Ijirak. So from what I understand, these are, most of the critters in this, event are actually based on
research opportunities if there weren't a gathering in the town.
on like folklore and shit. I mean, most of the critters in game, but especially the ones in this chapter.
Oh, Windsong, seems like life has been good to you in your theory.
She stares intently at the beast in front of her, her written notes hardly keeping pace with her whispered observations.
The disorder in ley energy here has not only caused the exhaustion of the Runian mines, but has also mutated local critters to varying degrees.
So runium is like a normally would be a renewable resource, right? But I guess the ley lines are screwing things over. Yeah, the boys here.
Then Zeno was right. No wonder they have sent so many researchers here to look for abnormalities. Even the crank ones like me. It's obvious that this town has more to it than a handful of overly active critters. But they don't seem especially interested in the mutant ones either. Zeno, what were you looking for here?
Or, dude. Happy chuckles. Think so. Phyllis race is also based on folklore as well. Yes, Rusalka. Which is weird, right? Because I don't know if there's like a distinction between Rusalka and mermaids. Because I mean, she definitely looks different from the Rusalka that we fight in the insight page thingy. A sudden movement passing under her coat brings her out of her monologue. Blop. Eh?
Hey, let go! Let go of my leg!
Jeez, that's aggressive.
Strange. You're not a fox, and you're not a sable.
Bro, she's a person. The appearance of this unknown child brings, at first, confusion, followed swiftly by panic. Yes, monsters are real. I searched and found them. Okay, yeah, I figured.
Hey, kid, what are you doing?
What are you doing? She picks herself up, dusting off a small flurry of snowflakes. Unfortunately, Windsong is not the only one startled by the child. Oh, here we go.
Oh, shoot. Ejiraks are usually known for their good temper. It seems to not apply to their mutant kin.
Alright, so these are the deviant ones. Rugged antlers aim squarely at the researcher. The creature's nose puffs with each aggravated breath.
Fine.
Ichirak. Chirac. Oh, I've seen this
Природа — это
screen.
числые черты.
It looks really cool. Yeah. This child is such a liability, my lord.
Blocks here?
And he's not even paying attention. Alright, now, this should have been a combat, I think. And then this post-combat. The startled Chirac runs off into the distance.
Whew. Lucky for us, it seems to still be afraid of the dark like the rest of its kind. It's finally over.
Her satisfaction fades as she takes stock of her surroundings.
Oh, my materials!
Oh dear.
Wow. You are the most.
What does that mean? His little hands struggle to reach any higher. He pats the freezing hand of the researcher.
You drove away all the bad creatures and protected everyone. The swans on the stage, the big burning furnaces in the factory, and even the uncle sleeping in the mine with Papa.
Ah, there it is. Dead parents. We can't do this anymore, dead parents. I think they would all give you a big thumbs up.
Huh?
She sighs, resigned that she must now deal with her uninvited guest. Though, in fact, she is the one here uninvited.
You can call me Windsong? Just to be clear, I'm not a spy, kid. I'm just a traveler staying in town for the moment.
She casually raises an identification card in her hand, a card adorned with a familiar sunflower pattern.
Oh, but I have never seen you before.
Come on. Oh, it's reset time. Okay. Let the reset happen. Please. Alright. Oh, shit. There we go. Do you also like to rest in the water like Villa? You also have a big, beautiful tail. The size of these monsters is not what I expected when looking at the chibi versions. Now I realize, yes, they're quite large, aren't they? But at least August knows she's a mermaid. I don't know if that's like common knowledge among the townsfolk, though. These strange questions prove difficult to parse, even one at a time, but the little boy circles around her, unleashing more in salvo after salvo.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm certain that I am not what you think I am, little fellow. I am a researcher. We often stay in quiet corners when we work on a project, so you won't see us often. Understand?
Researchers? Like those people on TV? I saw them stand on a tall stage with flowers in their arms. They spoke a lot and cried. And then they were given a shiny medal. Villa said the medals were to praise them for being very clever. Can I see your medal?
This last salvo penetrated deep. Windsong's face twitches unnaturally.
Oh, the crystal on you looks stunning. It looks purer than those in the mine carts.
Her gaze centered on it, a beautiful crystal hanging on the boy's neck, a chance possibly to stop his barrage of questions.
Of course. Papa gave it to me.
His small chest swells with pride.
It is precious, but also very dangerous. A crystal like this is almost as volatile as undiluted runium ore. They use this stuff for war machines. Kid, listen to me. Put that away. Go home now and don't let anyone see it. Understand? It could stimulate the critter's appetite.
Windsong nods with satisfaction, eager to see him leave. Unfortunately, the sunflower gently brushes up against her arm once more.
Can you build a very, very tall wall? One that can protect the whole town? Like what you did with the blocks?
I'm sorry, little fellow.
She points to the now empty patch of snow-covered ground.
That was just a trick. It won't last long.
Oh, that was amazing! Nina, Knut, Villa, everyone should learn from you. Could I make the doors and stones listen to me like you did one day? Will I be great? Like you?
That's interesting. So her arcanum is tied to the earth? Or manipulation of the earth, it seems. At least to a limited degree. Ijira can change shape, but the pictures on Google look similar to monsters in the game. Oh, that's crazy, hey. Oh, welcome in, welcome in. And yeah, no, you're not too late. We're only in chapter 2. I'd be great like you.
A strange kid like you should live in the age of Aquarius and be a part of the New Age movement, or become some kind of yogi doing meditation and do it anywhere but here.
The New Age movement. What is that?
Her helpless attempt at turning him away goes without notice. Worse still, it seems to intrigue him.
Is that where you're from?
It's not a place. It's a spirit of a time, full of interesting things like crystals, new schools of thought, many crazy and creative ideas.
Will the sun close its eyes? Will the dark clouds spit on people? Will our ships blow bubbles under the water?
Somehow, the persistent questions stop being a source of annoyance. The subtle warmth of his boundless wonder shakes loose the frost from her heart. Her smile turning from feigned to genuine.
Of course. They even believe that the world is a giant piece of blank paper, and they are the artists drawing on it. And not only that, they are obsessed with bizarre ideas. Where did the Stonehenge on the Salisbury Plain come from? Where are the ships and planes which traveled past the Sargasso Sea now?
I like them.
The child's voice blurs the edges between reality and pleasant memories of her past to a time when there are others that thought like her. They have masculine gameplay games, but you don't want to see what they look like on
the apprentices of a once renowned school of thought.
Ley hunters.
However, few people in academic circles accepted the idea of ley lines as an answer to their questions.
Bro, we have magic.
So, for these ley hunters, it has been a long walk through a dark night.
Then we can come to Rayashki. Here the sun never sets. Half the year anyways.
So Rayashki's pretty far north, which I guess you could guess.
And when I grow up, I will be a lay hunter too.
Moonsong tightens her scarf as if warding off a chill.
I'm afraid it's a bit too late, little fellow. Most have already given up. They lost interest in solving the mysteries and lost their faith in finding the curves and the lines. So, the study of ley lines has been all but abandoned. There's only one fool left that hasn't given it up.
She speaks wistfully, entranced in that daze of memory, oblivious to the nearing sound of footsteps behind her.
And you, I suppose, are this only one fool, yes?
Villa pulls Avgus towards her protectively and reproaches him with a ruffle of the child's hair.
Please, ma'am. Believe me, I am not a child abductor.
Well?
Why, you know? Winsong offers a pained gesture towards the boy.
I think this isn't a good place to receive our guests. We have much more appropriate arrangements for new friends. But, if our guest has any ill intentions, we will retaliate.
Damn, right to it, huh? So, Winsong's personality is not what I was expecting. Because from her art, she seems to be the confident type, but that does not seem to be the case here. If anything, Villa's way more confident. I heard it's based on a real island near the North Pole. Forget the name, unfortunately. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I assume Rayashki itself isn't actually a place, but I'm assuming it was some other abandoned mining town or something like that. I know they had a fair bit of those in Russia. Back in the day. Needlegrass. The beautiful Arctic foxes, the warm seawater, and the disgraceful needlegrass all claim their place here. People swear, Rayashki. The group, each harboring their own thoughts, returns towards the small town. Villa and August humming out a sing-song tune. An anxious wind song remains silent for the journey. Villa wheels around just as they arrive at the outskirts, keeping up the cadence of the song.
We're here. Thank you for taking care of little comrade August, miss.
The which movement is mentioned many times in the game, and the Foundation said that even they cannot compare with the Foundation in power. Ooh. So they're like a big thing, huh? I imagine they'll become more significant then, huh? Thank you for taking care of our little comrade August, miss.
Hmm?
Yeah?
You mean I'm not here to be questioned? Or arrested?
Of course not. Perhaps we're a little too optimistic, but when we meet a stranger, we prefer to welcome them.
Villa looks over the awkward figure, reading the expression on her face. The researcher breaks the silence with a stumble.
Oh. Well, I'm Windsong.
That's a very unique name. And where is it you come from?
From the east side of the Dniester River.
Nest. Villa's scales are hit with a sea breeze. It halts her in their conversation. Why does everyone smell each other? The teacher breaks out from her pause.
No offense, miss, but you have a complicated and unfamiliar scent about you.
Is that
The
just
smell of
normal?
hard rocks, a lighthouse by the sea, rainwater in the humid summer. Nothing hostile, though.
I think most rootless travelers like me smell like that.
Welcome to Rayashki, Miss Winsong.
Welcome to Rayashki. Villa motions inward to the town.
Thank you. I understand your caution, but...
Winsong is seized by her own suspicion, spying the unusual scales on her host's neck. Vila catches the glance. She subtly tugs at her sleeve and shrinks her neck into her coat, taking a few cautious steps backward.
You have nothing to worry about. It's not a disease. Anyway, let's talk about you. I heard that you are a researcher. Not long ago, many of your peers visited here. They wandered around and looked under every rock and floorboard in the town, like you do. I thought perhaps they were attracted here by the town itself,
No.
but regrettably, not long after, they left one after another in disappointment.
I'm just here
I
for the
was
rocks, man.
disappointed too.
There is a curiousness in her tone.
Will you be like them?
Those people are famous scholars. Of course they won't spend too much time on a project with unclear prospects. But I'm used to those.
In the topic of lighthouses, how did you like Marcus's story? I personally yeah. Okay, I thought Marcus' story was very good. It definitely gave us so much more insight on her character. Especially why she is the way that she is. I was very surprised that they tied it in towards the main plot, towards the end though. Because usually they don't do that, right? Usually it's kind of its own separate thing, but Marcus's was smack dab right in the middle of it. I do like how they kind of integrated it that way. That was really cool. She spreads her hands out to the town with nothing more to say.
I salute you for your courage and spirit of exploration.
I thought you might be more hostile to me. Shouting things like, "Who do you think you are to prowl about on our private property?"
Damn, she really have to use the accent.
Huh?
Eh?
Many see the study of ley lines like finding a needle in the grass of a Siberian field. Wasted effort with negligible results.
There is no such thing as meaningless work. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, or what you do. You will find your purpose here.
Villa shifts her gaze over to August, who has been found and surrounded by the other children not far away.
Is that so? No wonder how you have such an unusual student like August.
All that childhood wonder. Innocence. Somehow you've preserved it in him, haven't you?
Yeah, August is, a special child. Okay. The children seem unconcerned with the new adult. They have their own world and their own rules to be addressed.
Is the show finished?
We cancelled our rehearsal, August.
Because of you. It's your fault.
Just left red-faced.
Yes, and he cancelled the friendship cheese on the food menu. All thanks to you.
Yeah, Piotr, calm
But
down.
I was welcoming our new friend.
And we have lost our cheese because of you. This is all your fault. You're the most bothersome kid in the Rayashki.
Oh, no.
I know that word. Most means the best. So thank you, Piotr.
Marcus and Isolde have something in common. They both talk to ghosts. Yes, I'm very surprised that Marcus has had some stuff to do with ghosts, because I always assumed ghosts were typically, like, specific to Arcanum, unless it was something like Click or Poltergeist. But, I mean, I think it was very purposeful to have her theme tie into ghosts. It seems to be the whole thing for Vienna, right? Ew. The other children gather close.
August, we don't see anyone new here. You're not lying again, are you?
She's with Vila.
Why doesn't Bisono get a live 2D? That's kind of
Share
rude.
footprints.
I'm pretty sure all the
and
other kids
even
have one.
Sing together.
Here, footprints of the same.
Winsong is also the best. She can draw many lines on the snow and even on a seagull.
We're not having another freak in town, right?
Oh, there it is.
Drawing on the blackboard? Like Miss Vila?
There's that arcanist racism we all love. Avgust playfully shakes his head, feigning an air of mystery.
She made the earth turn into a tall wall. And she blew her breath at it and made a building appear.
Okay, now I'm very curious about what her arcanum
If we
does.
had enough lay hunters like her working together, we would be able to send sunflowers high into the sky.
Ah, that's not so tough. All the men in town know how to build stuff like that. When we grow up, we will work like them, with hoes and shovels. But that will take ages.
If we can learn how to build like the lay hunters, then we could help the adults right now.
Don't listen to August.
What is your problem, kid? The children discuss the notion animatedly. Piotr finds himself squeezed out of their huddle. In the story, she mentioned 2 more ghosts that we have never met. I don't remember that. That was just the main 3. I mean, she was on a haunted lighthouse island, makes sense, but still, I don't remember the other 2. He puffs his cheeks and hurries over to the adults.
Greetings, Miss Winsong.
Greetings.
Is it true? Can you really shape the earth into different things and build things from it?
Not exactly. The things I build with my arcane skill have only a momentary effect. I can't use it that way. I learned it as part of my research while studying ley lines.
Ooh, so it's more of a general sort of arcanum then, no? Not like us, inherited. The other children join in.
Miss Vinsong, those things August told us, are they true? The sun that closes its eyes, the dark clouds that spit on people, and the lines that can reveal everything.
Something that closes eyes. So I'm assuming she used some. This was to make the Ejirek run away because I don't like the dark, right?
Miss Winsong, will you be our teacher? Like Miss Vila?
Miss Vila?
Can you prove anything?
Kids, one question at a time.
I know Piotr's a kid, but goddamn, he's annoying. The children surround Winsong, catching her off guard. She looks apologetically at Vila.
Sorry, Miss Vila. I should explain it to them. Mine is not a formal discipline. Many people believe that it relies too much on the observations of arcanists, and the conclusions aren't useful for the public. So it is best that you kids do not study it.
Damn. She shrugs her shoulders.
A pursuit of passion, fit for only a very stubborn fool like me.
I see.
Villa nods in understanding.
Then you must show us all about it. Shouldn't she, kids? I'm sure Miss Winsong would be very happy to give us a special lesson about her studies.
This might be a stupid question, but is Rayashki an Arcanist village? They don't seem... So, the sense I'm getting is that this is a mixed village, because some of the kids, at least, seem to not appreciate Arcanum. Though they do know about it. It doesn't seem to be a secret here. Especially since Villa has scales all over her, right? But I'm pretty sure this seems to at least mixed, maybe majority human is my guess. I'm sure Miss Winsong would be very happy to give us a special lesson about her studies.
Uh-huh.
Yay!
Escaping this unasked for obligation may prove more difficult than expected.
Miss Vila, I thought I made myself clear.
You have worked hard in this pursuit of passion, haven't you?
Regardless, the study of ley lines is, well, it's useless.
Winsong lightly taps her yellowed notebook filled with cryptic scribbles and notes.
Useless?
Useless.
These kids should learn something like geography. It's a much more thorough and important field. As far as the general public and academic institutions are concerned, the study of ley lines is just a niche aspect of geography. Worse still, one that is solely accessible to arcanists. To devote any real time to its investigation,
All the children are
would take up
arcanists, okay.
valuable research funds and equally valuable
That's weird, because I'm pretty sure Piotr was like, why is there another freak here? Be more confident when song your heart during the study of ley lines, be proud of that. See, it's odd to me, right? Because, like, magic exists in this world. Why do they draw the line at ley lines, right? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. No. I was definitely expecting her to be the more confident type, but that is clearly not the case. She is very self-deprecating. To devote any real time to its investigation would take up valuable research funds and equally valuable researchers. Yay, bureaucracy.
At least that was how they felt about it.
Bila furrows her brow. I don't know why I keep saying
Who
it
can
wrong.
say for certain?
What about you? Do you also think that the study of ley lines is a waste of funds and manpower?
Clearly not, bro.
Of course I don't. Through ley lines, we can detect Arcanum-related events in the area, learn about local arcane creatures, and find the secrets hidden both above and below the Earth's surface. But I can't yet prove this to people.
Bila places her hand on Winsong's shoulder.
Well, you don't have to prove it alone. It doesn't matter what others think of your work. The only important thing is finding its uses. At first, Rayashki was just a remote village, far north in the Arctic Circle. People came here to share a dream of a better future. It was only by luck that we found the Romeo.
Yeah, the promo art made her look like girl boss, but looking in the distance, but right now she seems more of a girl failure. Made her seem like some kind of mastermind. Yeah. Especially with her art, she seems like super... You know, she's got that sly look on her face. Nope, not here. At first, Rayashki was just... Okay.
Then Zeno approached us and became our business partner.
Doesn't have any uses. That's why. I think it's more just another thing against Arcanists, because only Arcanists can actually utilize them and research them. So I'm guessing since most of academia is, you know, dominated by humans, they don't really pay much attention to it because they can't do anything about it, right? I'm thinking it's similar to what Calavana went through, where people just don't like Arcanists. I actually didn't read through chapter 1.3, but I know that much at least. Then Zeno approached us and became our business partner.
For over 60 years, people here have worked together to make it what it is now. We built the school, the swimming pool, and the cinema. For everyone, Rayashki embraces and takes in every newcomer. You and your studies are no exception. This is where our paths meet.
Vela smiles warmly. It hits like a warm sea breeze. A pair of hands concealing sharp scales extends towards Windsong.
Please know that
Windsong's power is by training similar to Shamani and Tooth Fairy. Okay, yeah. I figured that much.
I'm not just doing this for you.
I don't know if she has a personal arcanum or if it's all just
For a
learned.
better future.
I figure the majority of arcanists are learned arcanum. Yeah, bloodline stuff seems very specific. I'm not just doing this for you, I'm doing this for a better future. Vila glances at the children not far away. Some of them seem to be solemnly saluting a sunflower as if it were a security team guard.
A well-rounded education is vital in bringing up the next generation of scientists and workers. Our children should learn more about this world, even from those perspectives and types of knowledge that aren't widely accepted.
Winsong looks out to them and meets the face of her unexpected friend. He waves back excitedly.
Thank you, Miss Vila.
See, this face makes me think confidence, right? She clasps her hand. It is colder than expected, but welcoming. So, it seems like, this is kind of the, Rayashki at least is kind of the ideal of communism, where everyone kind of pulls their weight, everyone does what they can to contribute, etc., etc. Especially since Villa seemed kind of confused when Song mentioned property, but that might be just something else. We're gonna see if it all collapses. So the gardener to the flowers, I think is what the chapter was. Nope. I keep pressing the wrong fucking button. Said the gardener to the flowers.
The study of ley lines sees the world as a clear map. The cities look like squares to us, while natural landscapes appear to be curves overlapping one another.
Mention goes our Brown Lady of Raynham Hall and... Oh, okay. Now that you mention it, I actually recall that very vaguely. The Brown Lady, at least I remember, because it's usually a great lady, isn't it? The city's always where the last landscapes reoccurs overlapping one another.
Many bizarre places in the world, such as the location of the Tunguska explosion or the mysterious 30th parallel north, can't be drawn in squares and curves like cities in ordinary
Okay,
landscapes.
so the Tunguska explosion, I know this one. I believe it was a meteor, I think. Or at least that was the official story, that just kind of blew up a bit of Russia. I don't know what this 30th parallel north is. I'll need to look into that.
We need to find a way to indicate them in a clear, precise way.
Clear, precise, fine.
It's a maze.
Well, it is the ley line map of a city, but you are right. It does look like a maze. To begin with, I should introduce the most crucial concept in the study of ley lines. That of ley energy. It is a special energy which we can easily detect throughout the town. See how it comes out from underneath the ground and goes into the local biosphere, circulating around like a system. If we think of the town's ley lines as a food web, then ley energy lies at its foundation.
Like how big fish eat small fish, and small fish eat even smaller fish.
Always comparative is simple, but essentially correct.
Exactly. They are the smallest fish eaten by the big fish. If we catch the big fish and study what they eat, we will know where to find the other big fish.
That's just geography topology, yep.
And the ley energy...
But it's magic geography and topology.
When the big fish die and break down, the small fish will go back to where they first came from. The circulation goes on
That's
and
it,
on.
energy.
You've put it very well, Miss Winsome.
But here's the thing, right? This is very, according to her, provable. So this ley energy is something that exists and ostensibly can be utilized. So why the fuck don't people want to like exploit it? That's like the first thing they do whenever they find a new resource. They exploit it. So the fact that they're kind of overlooking this just because it's arcanum seems strange. Especially since they have a whole town here mining fucking magic ore for them. You put it very well, Miss Winsome.
Like the rainwater that comes from the ocean to the rivers and returns back to the ocean.
Her tone rises, the scales along her neck unfurling slightly.
You're a quick learner, but it is not exactly like water. The concentration of ley energy is far more noticeable than that of a lake or a school of fish. Once we find its densest spot, we'll be able to trace it back to its source.
I want to say something about the translations. They've gotten a lot better. Much, much better since the start. But they still have like these little things here. Like this would normally, it is would normally be a contraction, right? And this feels a little bit formal, but it's just something I've been noticing. It'll be explained in her story why it's not used. Okay. Then what are these bright spots?
These are the energy-rich locations. In a way, they indicate the energy flow.
So many. They look like stars in the sky.
I imagine the scene as Villa sitting with the children on a tiny desk. Yep.
Yes, and finding
like those
these
little
locations
play
can
desks,
be very
yeah.
costly in terms of
She
time
like barely
and
fits.
manpower.
Then what do we do after finding them?
Like, why does Bisono
They
not get
can
a thing
tell
that's...
us many things. The ley hunters
Okay,
will
no one
follow
gets
their
one here.
courses, analyze the components in them, and match those components to each resource. Some of the components don't match with any of the known resources, which means there might be a new resource waiting to be discovered. Of course, from the ley energy, we can also learn about the local critters.
You talk about strange things, almost like Avgus does.
See, I don't know how this kid is a arcanist. He seems very human in his like reactions to arcanum related things. He pouts, finding all of this hard to believe.
These are just lines.
Like dancing earth forms. They wiggle, they twist. They're having fun.
Also, comparing her to Avgos is just mean. God damn. He is on a different level.
Jumping on the waves. Then into the little boxes. And back into the little balls.
Great. We have 2 of them now.
Let's throw them Rayashki.
They look interesting, but we don't really understand.
Her theories are a bit too complex for children at this level, even with the aid of a drawing.
Cheer up, kids. It's not finished yet. Leyline cartography is complicated. It takes the efforts of many ley hunters working together, investigating the area, even braving dangerous and forbidden places. To this day, we've never been able to finish a completed ley energy map.
Their enthusiasm dims, but some remain immersed in the world of ley lines. Avgos raises up the incomplete drawing.
I know it now. This is Rayashki.
Huh?
Eh?
Ah, I see it too. And here is the swimming pool. That little square is our square. These little balls are our homes.
Avgos has such an active imagination. Yep, he is. He's a little bit off, though.
I live here. The third bowl on the left of yours.
The children react with surprise when Song applauds.
You're very bright, Avgust. This is the ley energy map of Rayashki.
Rayashki.
But Miss Vinsong, why are you mapping the energy of our town? Have you found any secrets that we don't know?
Probably.
Children, right now you can only see what's above the ground. But there is even more ley energy beneath the ground.
Song lowers her head, feeling momentarily transported back to a time long past, while her audience listens intently below.
Will the sun always be in the sky? Will the glaciers ever melt away? What lies in the darkness beneath that? Are there other critters around here that you've never seen? How should we deal with them?
This topic sets off a clamor of excitement from the children.
I heard once that there were many strange footprints next to the school windows.
God, that's creepy.
Uncle Patrick saw it. A monster with 6 legs, and each one has spikes.
And they just let him
That
roam.
must be a kikirn. A
Kikirn.
small-sized Canidae critter, mostly seen in cold areas.
So a dog.
But the ley energy might have affected the weather of their habitat, or they wouldn't be here in Rayashki in summer. The deep blue line here shows that particular one's movement.
So
Maybe
ley energy
Uncle
is
Patrick
significant
couldn't
if it can
drink
affect,
too much.
if it can affect the weather as well. This
The
could
ley
affect that.
energy accumulated in them suggests that they mostly feed on moss and worms under the snow and stay near town. We can infer that this is a docile herbivorous kind of critter that is merely curious about human behavior. I think feeding them will be much more useful than driving them away.
Okay, I kind of like Windsong because she's got like the whole like ecologist vibe going on. You know, drawing conclusions from gathered data and structure. But yeah, I think that's really cool. I like that a lot. Dylan nods thoughtfully.
Since these critters began to overrun the area, the defense team has encountered many new creatures. I can feel there is something strange about them, but I can't yet understand the differences. You provided a different angle on the situation, Miss Windsong. I believe it would help the defense team greatly.
These new discoveries have provoked interest in the teacher and her students alike.
The fires in the furnaces are out. The bees and kites dance around the pond. White mosses on the wall. Oh, storms will fall down from the sky.
What are you talking about?
Hmm?
His bizarre yet ominous statement seems to upset the others.
Stop saying these strange things, August. The defense team will keep the critters out of town and protect everyone. And there will not be any stones falling from the sky.
It's all gonna come true, isn't it? Piotr stands up, his fists clenched and his face flushed red.
Is everything alright, Piotr?
Piotr.
Yeah, you're lying. Rayashki is safe. It will be your home forever.
I hate to tell you this, kid, but what August just said could be right. I have the same feeling that the good weather here won't last too long.
Those stones like hail or something. He gazes outward, the sky above is gray and growing darker.
Look at those thick gray lines. Those are the traces of cloud movements and moisture. Now they're mingled together.
But the sun will still be shining. Miss Vila said that the polar day will last for a very, very long time.
Miss Vila was right. And past statistics don't lie. According to the data, the weather here should continue for the next few months. Yet the ley lines say otherwise. They say the weather will be extremely unpredictable.
You are making things up. The forecaster on TV said the weather in Rayashki will be temperate in the coming months.
And the weather forecaster was right, according to his analysis. But life is full of surprises.
I know why you're concerned, Miss Windsong. I feel the glaciers are melting slightly faster than usual. There is going to be a warm front forming from the melting water.
I feel like Avgos is a little leyline genius, since leylines seem all about interpreting abstract ideas. Yeah, he definitely strikes me as the sort of like a savant that knows one thing specifically, or like the one thing he's super interested in, and then has like zero common sense in every other aspect. That's the sense I'm getting from him. Windsong looks at her audience. She had half hoped for some opposition from them.
But will there really be stones falling from the sky?
I can't say anything for certain just yet, kid. All I have is this incomplete map. And as you can see, many sources of the marks and traces haven't been located. which means we can't come up with a precise calculation. But there's no question that Rayashki will soon face many challenges. The weather could become much worse. The environment might change. Maybe some unknown critters might turn up.
Liar! You're all liars! Rayashki is at home, so it can't be dangerous!
I feel like Pyotr has to be human. There's no goddamn way, man. The class bell rings at an inopportune time. Inopportune time. The children rush out of the classroom one after another.
Piotr, you can't fly if your feathers get wet.
Winsong sighs. Although she hasn't fully adapted to her new role, she must keep up with the children. And Vila intercepts her.
They will need some time to take in all this new knowledge. Don't you agree?
I thought I could handle all their questions. I think I made things worse. Sorry.
Have faith in them. They will come around.
They will come around. Pyotr squats on the ground, muttering softly to himself while rolling some pebbles. A sunflower and the boy attached to it approaches.
Are you here to laugh at me? All these stories of monsters and falling stones, they aren't good at all. I overheard Mr. Evgeny talking. He said the town has so many problems, and soon what some people think will decide our future.
He's a child that loves Rayashki, of course, saying the home is unsafe will get him all riled up. Yeah, that's true. But he's also kind of... He's really antagonistic, it seems, towards everybody.
If people believe in those terrible stories, maybe they will be scared and they won't come back to Rayashki. Our town will be forgotten.
But I wasn't lying.
Choking tears fill their small throat, they're all crying. Rustling sounds come up from behind the flower bed. Oh, is this the dog she was talking about? Kikirin, right? That's what they're called. Crimson eyes set in a furry head observe them with curiosity.
Hmm? Hello, Kikirin.
Yeah, Kikirin.
What? What are you doing? I will draw its attention. You go find the defense team for help.
Well, at least... I'm okay. He's at least, like, loyal. The older boy opens his trembling arms defensively. He's looking out for him. And I believe that was combat, right? Yeah. A mound of sunflower seeds is presented on a pair of tender hands. Moist nostrils approach, and then a rough tongue greedily curls around the seeds.
It's itchy.
He's itchy. The Kikirin purrs contentedly as the now empty hand strokes it gently but confidently.
It feels warm, doesn't it? Miss Winsong said they can be our friends. That they will bring seeds to every corner of the town.
Like a gardener?
Another pair of hands reach out to cautiously caress its fur.
Yes. Go plant more sunflowers, Kikirin.
The deep blue creature darts away.
So, Miss Winsong was not a liar.
Just makes a friend. He's got a new dog, man. Okay, hang on. I need to do my, this thing. Because there's only a day left and I'm pretty sure, and this, I believe this is, time gated, right? So I actually need to run through these. One's done. Yeah, I just skipped through all of Eternity stuff because I needed to unlock this shit. Beast type. And then this one. Outstanding graduate. Cool. I already got the thing at based. I believe there's one more after this, right? Cool. Alright. Since this does end in 2 days, I probably want to do that one next. But perfectly matched it. Bro. Stop. Alright, we're back. Just have to make sure I got that done. We are in chapter 5, Accordion. The accordion sings, carrying its passion into the distance. Accordion. Rayashki. The warm current of the ocean is a stranger to this place. The long silent dock seems to be pining for use, for visitors, to bustle once more with industry. A lone figure stands there, resolute, unblinking. Yevgeny. Bella stretches out as she stands beside him. The scales on her wrists and ankles catch the light, shimmering against a white reflection in the water.
Do you really think it's a good idea to turn to Zeno for help?
No.
We have drawn almost every man and woman from the mining facilities to get rid of the critters nesting around the port. Most of the defense team were injured. Some lightly, but others got much worse. It will be weeks before they can return to the... If an attack like the one at the rehearsal happens again, I'm not sure we will be able to protect ourselves.
His stance doesn't waver, but his face turns stiffly towards the abandoned mine far in the distance. Kittiwakes screech as they will swoop down over the vast white tundra.
I know most of our people are frustrated with Zeno's arrival, but I expected better from you, Vila. People trust you, and they will follow you, but that doesn't make you right. Maybe you're still too young to see the dangers.
I might be wrong, but history is a long lesson in learning what is right through being unafraid to be wrong.
Sadly, we don't have time for a trial and error.
So it's mainly the critters that are causing problems? I assume they were just running out of resources. Decisions against our will.
I will hold myself responsible for my decisions. In that, you have my word.
Their conversation reaches deadlock once again. Fortunately, elsewhere there are others with fewer and simpler burdens.
Today is the day of our welcome ceremony. Vila said when the bell rings, the important people from the Tortoise Academy will arrive.
Tortoise.
Everyone looks excited.
What is Tortoise? I'm assuming it's Foundation. Oh, Zeno defense, right.
Put on her best dress. I know she'll be great on stage. Basono will do all with Piotr. It's his duty to protect the princess. As for me, I got a new job from Mr. Afghani. Salute, shake hands, and give them the warmest welcome.
I feel like August is just the child that they kind of send away so he doesn't cause problems. They just give him, like, non-jobs. Holy shit. The child nods solemnly, aware of the weighty mission he must undertake. Little standard bearer stands ready to receive Rayashki's latest guest. Oh, his dog.
What, this? There are bubbles in the water.
The critter pops its head out of the water, two eyes staring up at the boy with bewilderment.
We meet again, Kikirn. Are you planting sunflowers under the water?
Blows bubbles.
Have you brought your friends?
Of course I want to say don't join Zeno, because Zeno seems evil, but like how they are going to get food in this article because if not from imports. That's true, yeah. I mean, I think it's more just Zeno taking advantage of the fact that they have no other alternative, right? Like, you got nothing out here, man. Though, I mean, August can grow sunflowers. I wonder if he can grow other shit too. Bubbles swell on the open surface of the water as more Kikirans break up through the slurry of ice. Though their peculiar appearances differ from one to the next, they all possess large, lamp-like eyes that look out and around with curiosity.
1, 2... Oh! Your friends also have 6 legs! Look! They're wearing needle grass and flat files on their legs. Are you also here for the ceremony?
The child takes pride in his imagined duties.
Welcome, Kikirin and friends. Welcome to the prettiest town in all of the Arctic. Rayashki.
Rayashki.
Please, enjoy your song.
His cheeks flush as spirited, childish voices reverberate in unison out into the sea ahead. Seagulls take flight as a distant, stern statue springs to life and rushes over.
Comrade August, what are you doing?
What are you doing? There's
Whoa.
dogs.
I'm welcoming Vicky Kieran.
The child happily salutes the Kieran as they step onto the dock.
Get out of there, they're dangerous.
They're dangerous.
Defense team, drive them away.
Oh boy. Alright.
Wait! These are Kikirin. They're not aggressive. They're just curious about us. The kids seem to like them.
The defense team moves swiftly and without hesitation.
Get rid of them.
Damn.
As you command, comrade.
Comrade. Here's post battle. Yes. Sprays of bullets and bursts of flames disrupt the water surface, following the Kikirin as they dive in one after another. Alarms wail in the distance, but the Kikirin are already long gone. I see Zeno as the worst organization to join along with Manus Vindicte. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of competition there, though, is there? You've got Lap Laplace, which is mostly neutral. You've got the Foundation itself, which I guess is kind of the apparent thing of all, like, all the stuff anyways. Everything's associated with it. But I feel like Zeno is, just by virtue of being militaristic, is not great to be in. The children who can see them are left on the ground, gripping their hats over their ears.
The Kikirans are all gone. I think they don't like us anymore.
Damn. That made the kids cry.
Comrade Yevgeny.
Take the kids back to where they were, Comrade Vila. It was your duty to protect them.
Bro. His orders fizzle out as soon as they are said.
Maybe if we make the town a better place, more friends will come back. Then they will also come back. That makes sense.
Wait, Zeno works with Manus? What? No, I mean, I think what Manus is saying is that in terms of what organization you'd want to join, they're the second worst. Like, with the first being Manus. I think that's more... Because yes, the Zeno is Foundation affiliated, not Manus. That makes sense. The researcher observes all this from a nearby vantage. Her notebook rustles with a sigh.
The family of Kikirin includes dozens of subspecies, but none of them are so greatly adapted to water as this. That is to say...
And she's still nerding out.
They
Okay.
might also be affected by the ley energy under Rayashki.
May.
Pity that they were driven away. There was much we could have learned from them.
He looks up. A blanket of clouds obscure the sun with only a few rays of light breaking through. Gasps.
The temperature here is rising much faster than expected, and much earlier in the season. I imagine if you asked the Weather Bureau, they would say this is just an odd occurrence of unseasonable weather outside of expected ranges.
Boom. The booming sound of cannon fire interrupts one song's train of thought.
It's time. The Zeno investigators should be here any minute. I must stress again how important the ceremony could be for our future. Our town's economy is facing a cliff, and I am sure each one of you has noticed the increased rationing. If we wish to take care of our people in the future, and protect our friends and family from these frequent creature attacks, we need Zeno's support.
Zeno.
So we will work with Zeno, because we must. The future of Rayashki is in our hands. So is the future of every comrade here.
It's
And we
Winsong
need
predicting
the cooperation
global
of
warming.
every man and woman here.
I mean, basically, right? It's just because of ley lines, not because of carbon emissions. Trust. And we need the cooperation. Esther falls towards the Rusalka's vibrant tail. Is her tail out? After a pause, his target replies.
Zeno's ships are very fast, so as soon as they appear on the horizon, our ceremony will begin.
Understood.
Alright, so, okay, so she's pretty openly a Rusalka. The choir oat rises in unison, looking out at the pale blue horizon. The sea responds placidly. Salmon leap out from the water, seagulls circling along the empty coastline. Yet no sign of the anticipated ship appears. The quiet expectations of the adults set the children to whisper.
Zeno is late.
Zeno is late.
So late that Miss Villa would say they're absent.
Do you think something bad happened to them?
What are they doing there?
No answers come, but a new event catches their attention. Oh,
Oh, something is falling.
snow, bro.
Light and soft. Like a polar bear's head.
Have you never seen snow before? You live in Russia. Dark clouds press down on them, blocking out the final rays of sunlight.
Poor bear. Losing all his hair.
Snowflakes flutter down across the gray sky. Converging in the blustering wind, they fall towards the town.
Hmm?
Eh?
It's snow!
Yes, it is.
What? How can there be snow in summer? Hmm? Is this related to the strange thing Avgus said earlier?
If so, I'm happy that these aren't stones or a dark cloud spit.
I mean, they are a dark cloud spit, right? The children huddle near August, astonished by the accuracy of his predictions.
Avgus! I can't believe it! You were never right before.
Ugh. Oh, it's chilly. The snow is biting against my skin.
I'm sorry, Avgus. I shouldn't call you a liar.
He lowers his head hesitantly.
But will Rayashki really get into trouble?
A gentle hand nudges Piotr, a motion learned from someone older and wiser.
Piotr, we will not be defeated. Not by clouds or bears.
Maybe the bears. Maybe bears. Look. Look. Here again.
Mr. Tortoise is walking very slowly,
Please.
but no one has left their position. For Rayashki,
Oh, Rayashki.
you little swans must go back to your lake too. Go as fast as you can.
We will.
Don't forget your own job, Avgus.
The children return to their positions and ready themselves.
So, this milky white line is this snowstorm.
She's still doing it.
The average temperature in the Rayashki has reached its highest point in the last 5 years, which together with the abnormally rich air moisture have produced an unseasonal and odd kind of snow.
It's actually just global
The
warming.
weather forecast
Goddamn.
was wrong. Ley lines were right.
Winsong can't hide her excitement. She leans up on a stone wall some distance from the event, her pen flying across page after page of notes, until she is compelled to snap back to reality. Whoops, there goes gravity. The assembly before her has barely moved. The snow claims more territory by the minute. Over sea and land, piling up on the railings and rising over booths, large and small. A distant foghorn accompanies the sight of a flag piercing up into the horizon. Zeno arrives at last.
Everyone listen! Our ceremony will begin!
Begin.
As you command, comrade.
Music, please!
Please.
Отпустите раш, неделя став прошла. Каждый шаг рисует новый день. Не смотри назад, не тяней вмиг, светлые небеса путешествуем.
That's cute. The steamship pulls into their rudimentary harbor, but no further movement follows. A porthole opens, but no voice comes out, no sound whatsoever beyond the lapping waves. A letter flutters out towards the anxious crowd.
It's a pleasure to speak to you all, our
Wow.
valued friends in Rayashki.
They couldn't even fucking send a person, that's wild. They didn't even bother, man.
On behalf of Zeno Arms Academy, I am here to announce the details of the Zeno-Rayashki Cooperation Agreement.
That's kind of garbage.
As many of you have expected, a squad of armed troops will soon be sent to aid you with the critter problem.
Okay.
However, having given it careful consideration, we have decided that the town of Rayashki is no longer viable for our continued support and must be abandoned. We advise that all residents prepare to be transferred to a new post.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Mm-hmm.
What?
They're not even Zeno, like, employees. How are they gonna relocate them like that? Whoops. He continued. Alright, we're on chapter 5. There is no way I'm getting through this entire thing tonight. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop around chapter 15 or so. I think there's like, what, 20 chapters in here? I'm gonna stop somewhere around chapter 13, 14, 15-ish, because it's already 4 in the morning. And then tomorrow go through the rest of it, along with Villa's side story, that I'll have to look up on YouTube somewhere. But until then, we're gonna keep going. Good days, bad days. The era can shape us, but it can also destroy us, so just relax and take it easy. Everyone does. Or whenever we find a good stopping point, because I don't think we're gonna make it through this entire thing. I think there's like 20 chapters in here.
I don't see the point of your reluctance.
Bertolt, this is a new man. The frowning master of ceremonies straightens the tortoise pattern letter and then shoves it back into his envelope.
The letter conveyed Zeno's decision clearly.
Yes, it did.
I suggest we warm ourselves up with a few drinks before we go. Do you have any stowage in town? Better than sitting here dwelling on the things that cannot be changed.
I don't like this guy.
Please
Already
tell
I
me
don't
you
like
have
this guy.
something like cocoa here?
The long-awaited guest stretches lazily as if no one is around and sinks into the couch. Tension in the air hangs like fumes waiting to ignite.
This is not what we agreed on earlier, Mr. Bertolt.
Calm yourself, Villa.
You must be mistaken, my very passionate friend. Zeno sent a warning months ago. The estimated value Rayashki can add to Zeno's program is less than satisfactory. Further support is no longer recommended. Should any new valuable resources be found in the region, please reply to this letter as soon as possible for further assessment. Then we heard back from Rayashki. In fact,
It was fucking Evgeny,
the
god
sender
damn it.
was
Yep.
You, Evgeny.
Yes, it was.
And it was you yourself that argued the most compelling point, I have to say. One that has drawn the higher-ups' attention. And the reason why I was sent here.
It's practical, right? He's just kind of
I
an
believe
asshole
you
for
wrote,
doing it.
I have total faith in the quality of the people of Rayashki. Their solidarity, dedication, and motivation have proven invaluable to us. I am certain they would carry those same strengths of character and skill to any post, no matter where they were assigned.
He folds the letter and hands it to Vila, her face blank as a canvas.
Zeno accepted my application. Of course, I asked around before making my submission, and Zeno seemed to have a good reputation. It was a golden opportunity to join them.
It is. But do not get us wrong. Our entrance requirements can be most difficult to meet. Zeno only takes in the best of the best.
You want some of us to work for Zeno? You never told us anything like that, Yevgeny!
Yeah.
Be reasonable, Vila. Some of us deserve this opportunity.
Alright, so he's just being fucking selfish,
What
sure.
about the others? We have elders and children. Some of our comrades have been injured and even died in the mine. Are we to forget their sacrifices?
Apparently. He tries to suppress the gills on her neck as they heave violently.
Relax, my friend. That's why we sent our very best biological control squad. We will escort you to the nearest shelter.
Another wave upon relentless waves of shock.
Face reality, Vila. I know how much effort we have put into building this town, and I understand you have this dream to fulfill. But we must prepare for the worst. We may have to give up on our Rayashki.
He takes out a document covered in scratched notes and annotations and hands it to her.
Read this.
Field investigation has confirmed that the remaining rhenium reserves in Rayashki are around 0.0173 kilotons, which is less than 0.275% of our average annual output.
Oh, it is gone. Completely
The
depleted.
mine is located high within the Arctic Circle, which has entailed significant transportation costs. The harsh environment is also wholly unsuitable for building any permanent processing facilities. In addition, military spending on the region has recently been elevated 3.61 times due to increasing animal and critter attacks, and that number is still rising. Clearly, the region is now incapable of self-management. According to the Guide on Global Humanitarian Aid by the Office for Disaster Risk Reduction of Zeno Arms Academy, we propose to send a special squad to the region to evacuate all local citizens and subsequently take care of the remaining biological control issues.
I mean, it's
And
reasonable,
our
right? It's
admission standards
pragmatic.
will be lowered at Zeno's discretion, so that you will all find work with us.
Like, looking at it objectively, it's a good deal, right? It gets him out of there and gives him a job. But goddamn, man, it's still kind of shitty. Zeno's representative offers a timely, if unconvincing, supplement to the letter. The paper creases and crumples into a ball in her hands.
I'm sorry, but this is reality.
Here's the reality.
From the start, this ore was the only thing they wanted from us. The environment here has always been harsh for mining, but we overcame it and sent our shipments to wherever Zeno had need of them.
And I salute each one of you for your work, my friends.
But now, our mission is over.
Mission is over. There is no doubt in anyone's mind. Runium has been the town's lifeblood and the key to its survival.
I believe all of you will continue to work hard in your new positions, no matter what.
You shouldn't rush to a decision. We are discussing Rayashki's future here, Yevgeny. For 6 decades, the people here have put in great efforts to turn the town into what it is today. We won't leave just because you tell us so. Our grandparents didn't even have construction equipment at the beginning. They built these houses with their own hands. We ship over the planting soil. We build walls to keep out the wind and snow.
Not to keep out the critters, apparently. Within the meeting room's cloistered walls, the air is heavy with moisture once more.
When you came here, you brought books for the children and introduced us to a species different than humans. You became one of us. I'm not happy about this either, Comrade Vila.
I won't buy that, Comrade Yevgeny. This is not just about my dream, but everyone's dream. Or have you forgotten what Rayashki was meant to be?
A utopia built for and by everyone. The voice of a better future. One which would sound across the land and seas. I remember every word of it.
Yevgeny's voice is low, but still decisive.
You have my sympathy, friends.
This guy needs to shut up. Time and place, my dude.
Has also suffered huge losses in many regions. We have lost manpower, territory, armament factories, and even some of our affiliated military schools. Rayashki is but one of these losses. We know how you feel right now.
He shrugs his shoulders, his face a picture of unhelpfulness.
But Zeno has his own problems to be faced. And investing in these new industries, purchasing fancy equipment, all these things Rayashki will need. All of this takes money. And even Zeno must be economical.
Shouldn't the people in Rayashki also benefit from these global benefits Zeno has promised?
We will get there, my friend. Maybe slowly, but we will get there. Trust me, Zeno has done everything they can for you. We need to keep our eyes on our goals and stay on the right course, so that we won't get lost in these turbulent times. Yes?
That's some corpo speak right there. He leans toward Villa, providing an unnecessary whisper.
I know how much faith these people have in you, and I believe you can show them a different perspective about these coming changes. Of course, this will also help you during Zeno's assessment.
Alright, it's a bribe.
Good luck, my friend.
He continued. Alright, shit's falling apart. Sounds about right. And now we're up to here. Paper metal. Start. Hotel. Okay. Why do they even have a hotel, man?
The reserves of Runium running dry. The appearance of new critters. The sudden snowstorm.
Snowstorm.
I have connected the ley lines of each of these phenomena. The map is nearly complete.
She unfolds the complex blueprint filled with various lines and marks.
But still haven't traced many lines and marks back to their source. Perhaps if I go back to the factories, into the restricted zones. But I can't do that alone. Definitely not when the situation in town is so unstable.
When Song collapses onto the table, an avalanche follows, covering her in layers of books and manuscripts. Piles around her loom like a mountain range, casting her in shadow.
Well, I should have given this up long ago. There's no chance that the study of ley lines will ever be accepted again.
Phantom voices of past mockery and scorn rise up into her ears.
Regretfully, Miss Winsong, with nothing but these outdated files and materials to back you up, there's simply no way to justify reinstating the study of ley lines into our curriculum. We don't have unlimited funds, and we must save our money for projects with greater potential. The study of ley lines is... Of course, we might be able to consider new ideas and projects. You can't be allowed to do this on your own. You will need endorsements from the Institution of Geographic Studies, the Arcane Creature Society, or other such organizations. Let me think. Zeno seems to be interested in geographers recently. They just recruited a number of researchers for a new commission. Maybe you should go try your luck with them.
An echo of a nursery rhyme rings out from beyond her self-made mountain range, but she is all but oblivious to it.
The submission date is getting closer each day, but I've made poor progress. Zeno won't endorse me if I can't find a breakthrough. They have become more and more radical and desperate lately. First they sent those researchers here to conduct their haphazard studies, and now an armed force? And all this effort just to chase the rumor of some source of perpetual energy? That this perpetual energy source must be hidden somewhere beneath the permafrost. The higher-ups call the shots. All they need to do is spread a little honey in the right places. Then all the little researchers will swarm on it like flies. But could there really be a magical power source like that?
Is it ley lines?
Whether there is or not, I still have a map to finish. There's no way that I can map every ley line in the region all by myself. Goodbye research funds. Goodbye lectures and seminars, and so long to my dreams of being chair of the Geographical Perspectives Forum.
She jostles the heaps of books, moving them just enough to let in some light to sound. They seep in through the cracks like starlight.
Tuk-tuk!
Tuk-tuk.
Huh?
Eh? The door snaps shut. When Song stands against it nervously. Instruments roll off the table, colliding with each other on the windowsill, the corners, and under the bed, falling in a cacophonous disarray.
What was that?
What was that? The door is gently pushed open again, revealing the curious face of a sunflower peeking in through the crack.
Miss Winsong, we've been waiting for you.
As far as metals go, the design is a little cruder than expected, and damp paper doesn't quite have the same gravitas as gold or silver. Still, Winsong has fantasized countless times about reaping such an accolade for her work, even a paper one.
Miss Winsong, we prepared a special medal ceremony for you in August.
Please, come to our ceremony. We just wanted to thank you for teaching us. Miss Villa was right. We We shouldn't have been so quick to argue. We should have listened.
So you should be given an award for being right. But our ceremony will not be as big as the ones on TV.
Indeed, this is a very special and exclusive reward. So Zeno offering to recruit the villagers, isn't this the exact same thing that happens to Belobog and... Yes, I remember that. It's basically the same thing. I think, I believe in Belobog they were told to join or be racked with debt so bad that they would be forced to join regardless. I don't remember the details of that quest, honestly. But I think it's something very similar. Only in this case, I mean, they both take place in, like, snowy, barren wastelands as well, so I think it's the same, like, sort of thematic thing, yeah. Simple as it is, it comes with something no one else could. The innocence and laughter of children.
Miss Winsong, will you accept this medal?
First time in a long while, the study of ley lines basks in the glow of scholarly acclaim. The paper medal is cupped in her trembling hands.
I have no cup to put this medal in, so we can't toast with it in celebration.
She sniffles.
But now I know, no matter what, I won't be returning empty-handed. Thank you, kids.
Do you mean... are you leaving us?
Yeah, bro, just gotta go home.
But there is so much you still need to teach us.
They really don't like
embraces
Persona.
every guest, including you, Miss Winsong. Don't you like it here?
The children are on the verge of tears. She is pulled in helplessly, too.
But those things I heard at the welcome ceremony, won't we all be leaving soon?
No, I don't believe it. That stranger was mean. He wasn't our friend.
This is our town. They can't speak for us.
Speak for us.
That's right.
Neither doubt nor sorrow will dim their eyes. Before her lies only a sea of steadfast faces. The words encouraging and powerful despite their youth. They plant some strange seed of hope in her.
Miss Villa invited the men from Zeno to leave his ship. Then they went into Mr. Evgeny's meeting room together.
Uncle Knut promised me that no one will give up this place. They will go to many meetings and find a solution that satisfies both sides.
The tortoises move slowly. They need to keep their eyes open and look for a better answer.
This game is gonna make me cry, dude. Yeah, it's a little bit heavy, isn't it? You got all these kids
Will you stay
that kind of
and
just
teach us?
lose their home. And they're still trying to get her to join them.
I won't cause you any more trouble. I promise.
It's the kids, man. Using kids is cheap. Goddamn. The children burst into laughter. Their voices very nearly drown out the rustling noises coming from the windowsill.
Comrade Calculator is speaking.
Ooh. Curiosity propels the child through the half-open door of the guest room. No calculator. Oh, it's her little pool.
Hello.
Hello.
Comrade Calculator, are you giving the earthworms directions?
So he talks to machines now. The clamor by the window crescendos. Even on tiptoe, the child barely reaches the faintly glowing calibrator. Unfortunately, he is not the only one reaching for it. Oh, what is this? More unfortunate still, scaly claws prove mightier than little fingers. Oh. The other children notice a tug-of-war and crowd around Windsong. squeezing into the increasingly cramped room.
What's going on here? Oh, my calibrator!
My calibrator. What is this critter?
The whale-like backbone. The diamond-shaped teeth, 2 short legs with dim eyes and an extremely sharp nose. That must be a kikituk.
Kikituk. Kikituk. Gasps.
But their closest habitat should be Konkarl's land, hundreds of kilometers away.
Oh shit. Okay. It snout fixates on the new treat in Winsong's grasp. He pulls out the scanner, its gears whining as ley lines flood forth. Well, she can
Their
actually
marks
use
on the
ley
map
lines.
appear to be red, sort of reddish-brown, and there's a large amount of ley energy accumulated around them. Clearly they're high on the food chain. Seems like the small fish have attracted more than one big fish.
This is a top order critter thing. For the swift kick, she sends the grinning critter tumbling.
Kids, get behind me.
Oh man, he's gonna fight. He's a researcher. Why is she able to fight? Star. I don't have a star team, do I? This is close enough. They're migrating here because of the increasing temperature. Yeah. It's I love the attention they put into ecology for this sort of thing, you know? Like shifting biomes and all that. Plus, you know, design as well. I think it's really neat. Oh, I need to spam shit, right?
Could be another jar.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, there's a bubble. Let's get it over quick. It's nearly made the gear. There they are.
Easy peasy.
They are much naughtier than the Foundation's kids.
The undeterred Kikituks close in on the narrow ledge. Hissing.
Oh. The Kikituks are giving a performance.
Not animal ghost.
Their nose sings, their fur dances, and their belly shakes. But why aren't their ears doing anything?
August, what are you doing there? Stay back. Those are not Kikin.
Yeah.
But...
The meaning of both their messages is lost in the confusion.
But their ears are left behind. They can't join the dance. Then they will not get their Alyonka.
Alyonka.
Ears?
Winsong, struck by her sudden revelation, fixes on the Kikutuk's head. Beneath its tufts of plush fur lie well-hidden ears of a deeper color.
Природа — это числые черты.
After a brief incantation, lines converge in a beam that hits precisely on its ear. Wails. The creature's cry pierces the air.
So that seems to be their weak spot. Good job, little one. You're even more perceptive than I thought.
Winsong pats August's head.
Next?
She reveals a dark and dangerous smile. Oh. The Kikituks finally relinquish their ill-gotten gains, leaping down and away from the windowsill, leaving behind gnawed, wet fragments of the ley calibrator.
Blin! This was one of the last working instruments I had!
A sunflower gently pats against Winsong's shoulder.
Don't be sad, Miss Winsong. If we plant them in the soil,
Many more will come out when spring comes.
Thank you, August.
Miss Winsong, can I be a lay hunter too?
Oh.
If we were as good as you are, maybe we could have protected your machine.
And maybe we could protect our town.
Winsong turns her head, meeting many pairs of expectant eyes.
Kids, lay hunting isn't a good profession. If you become a lay hunter, you will have to deal with doubt from all your peers, even hatred, and homework that piles up to your roof.
Miss Vinsong, people in Rayashki are taught not to doubt or hate others. They would never hate you or us.
Exactly.
The children of Rayashki are in some ways strange to her. Their courage and solidarity overcome her long-standing hesitation. Her curiosity at them, at all of this, becomes a palpable force, one pulling her ever closer to Rayashki. The Ode Factory, a symphony of steel forged by hard hats and furnaces. Children swear Rayashki.
I'm happy that you let us show you around, Miss Vinsong. We haven't had many other visitors here since the critters started coming near the town.
I met a blind lady once. She always
It's best
smiles,
merit.
and
Yeah.
she has a pretty typewriter. Villa said she's a writer. The writer has been to many towns, and she fills up her papers with so much ink, just like I do. So, I made a drawing for her too.
She promised us that she will tell more people to come visit Rayashki.
Thanks, best
Will
merit.
people from other places like it here?
Images bounce around in Evgo's mind, just out of grasp.
What about your other visitors?
I remember they had green and red rectangular paper, and some shiny cookies in their hands.
Let's see here. They're migrating here because of the increasing temperature. Yeah. Oh wait, no. Is that the lady we saw at the start of 1 Yes, I believe that's best merit. Because she was mentioned at the start of this event as well, so I'm pretty sure that's her. It is heavily implied to be her.
They tried to trade us their silly papers so they could take our cans and things. They never wanted to work with their own hands. And Rayashki doesn't like lazy bones.
On this, the children's head bob in agreement.
Miss Vinsong, Richard got all of us together last night, and we read for our How to Be a Good Tour Guide. So, we can guide you.
Right.
Miss Winsong is just a bit strange. She's not lazy.
The child hides his face, but the blush on his cheeks reaches up to his ears.
This time, I want horse, bean shake, and olagi.
Let's not hurry on to our rewards, Avgos. We haven't helped Miss Vinsong yet.
Oh, right.
Oh, right. Figures, large and small, pass deftly through the once tightly sealed iron door, arriving at the only factory left whose lock has not yet rusted over. Factory Rayashki.
Good to see you at our little factory, Miss Winson.
Explain the song.
Hello, sir.
The kids have told me that you want to learn more about the history of Rayashki and the strange things that have happened in the past, yes?
I do. But would that be going against any rules?
Most certainly not, miss. We're not some stubborn old goats that dismiss people for asking questions.
He strides forward.
In fact, I'm relieved. It will be much easier to talk to you than that bitter fellow from Zeno. He came to the factory with his armed squad, took a quick look around, and left even without a polite farewell. Like a whiff of cold breeze, that one. These old, outdated machines, and hundreds of workers, young and old, each one a mouth to be fed. They are certainly not a pretty sight to the eyes of that greedy hyena.
A pathetic, number-crunching cretin.
Damn. The whispered insult creeps up to her listener's ear.
I am starting to like you, miss. We would have much to talk about. Perhaps over a drink. If only I didn't have to get on with my work.
A curious look around goes beyond the hard-laboring workers. Tightly sealed doors and a thick layer of dust on aging machinery paint a less than optimistic picture.
You can see what's going on here, right? Don't feel sorry for us. Zeno might no longer need this ore processing factory, but we could make use of what's left of it. Once we get rid of the critters, we can arrange for other minerals or materials to be shipped to Rayashki for processing.
Processing. He rubbed his hands together, leaning against the shell of a rusted machine.
It is a shame we wasted so much of our good years, never preparing for these bad times. If those strange little monsters weren't there, we might be able to return to our mines. Then we'd really be able to turn things around.
About these mining sites.
Her notebook flutters rapidly, its pages turning as fast as a rolling flame.
Mr. Knut, have you ever found anything there, other than runium ore?
Miss Radio was telling us how to get to the island. She mentioned that the method is taken from Erd, a woman who was a biographer who visited the island in 1999. Oh shit, when was this? I don't remember this much. I'm assuming it was probably in chapter 5 when we first meet her, I guess? I don't actually know.
Never. I know those sites like the back of my own hand. I've never seen any other minerals of any worth there.
The rugged man seems to catch her disappointment, and far quicker than she'd expect.
But give it some time, miss. Well, give me some time. Just a few months ago, back when Zeno were still keen to work with us and not just ship us away, I remember they found some strange little pebbles. Dark pebbles that were stuck in the clothes of those little monsters. Zeno soon sent out some troops and caught all the monsters. They didn't leave a single one behind. We never heard about those pebbles again, nor have we found more of them in the mines. And you know the rest. Now we've exhausted the runium, and more strange-looking critters have appeared. So it's not safe to go back there. We left them completely deserted.
Please, take a look at this, Mr. Knut.
When Song searches fervently as Knut lumbers towards her with a curious eye.
No, their clothes were thicker than a polar bear's.
Polar bears. Oh, it's these little fuckers.
Ah, but these are closer. These monsters had much larger teeth. They almost look like old mining peaks.
Burton also asks 37 about her when they meet for the first time, and if you choose the name of the game as Burton, he receives a message you also have other names like that woman. Oh. Will be the same sort. I'm assuming. That's interesting.
And no ears!
Same sort, or
could they be some kind of
us
Hoytuk?
from the future or something. Hoytuk.
Yes, this one looked just like the creatures.
If that's true, then it may be another big fish that has come here to feed.
It is true. You can ask around. Many of the other workers have seen it.
Displacement of endemic species. Yeah.
So, the color of a Hoytuk is bright yellow, and that matches with these bright yellow lines I've traced here on the map. They are burrowing animals, often living as deep as 50 meters underground, so if they were here, that must mean...
They're lions, bro.
that there must be some undiscovered resource here.
The corners of her mouth curl as she mutters the words.
Talk of undiscovered resources would be music to our ears, miss.
I don't want to get your hopes up. It's still too early to draw any conclusions.
Yet, the corner of your mouth is suggesting the opposite.
I must be cautious before confirming there really is a new resource. Nonetheless, it's a silver lining. Thank you, Mr. Knut.
Mr. Knut.
Think nothing of it, miss. Maybe one day you and your research will return the favor.
I will, if I can.
She reaches out a hand and she shakes it heartily with warm strength.
I hope your work here can be resumed shortly.
Don't worry about us. We will find a way to drive those critters away and start production once again. We have all our brothers and sisters with us, and these machines still run perfectly. As long as we continue to put in our best effort, there's no reason why things won't get better.
Besmer, the friend from afar, Marta, or maybe also Erd. Yeah. I get the sense that she's similar to Burton. I know people say she's the mother. I don't think she's the mother. I think it's something else. I'm thinking maybe a future iteration of Burton is something. Like, I know you're not supposed to be able to meet your younger selves, but Burton's always kind of been, like, the anomaly, right? She doesn't really, the rules don't really apply to her. Pats the trembling, coughing machines with affection, like embracing an old friend.
Is this exceptionally positive spirit common with the people here?
Well, can't blame us for that. There are very few places in the world like Rayashki. Here, everyone earns their food and their rest through working hard together. Then outside of work, ice hockey, learning courses, even music lessons. Not everyone is as lucky as us.
That's one way to look at it, I guess.
That is why we won't let Rayashki die.
Knut's voice rises as if singing.
With busy hands and open hearts, Rayashki will live on. It will grow stronger, glowing as brightly as these furnaces.
I believe that Burton is a clone made in the laboratory. I feel like that's viable, yeah. Like, she was adopted into the Foundation like a very, very young age, like 1 month, right? Like, it could be very much that she's just kind of a fabricated being of some sort. I mean, she does have, like, the scar on her back as well, which we still haven't got an explanation on. That could be something to do with it. Something brilliant indeed burns with those furnaces. A product greater than any ore or slag emerging from the melding of purpose and sweat. The pen that stops stirs once again. But this time, she seems to be sketching out something far harder to picture.
I have to say, Rayashki is truly a curious place.
Winsong mutters to herself.
It has a spirit which I've never found elsewhere. Yes, perhaps that's what was missing from the study of ley lines in the past.
Gurgle. An odd sound interrupts her contemplation. A sunflower pats against the boy's belly.
Miss Winsong, would you like to meet Mr. Patrick?
The friendly bear Knut nods with an understanding smile.
It's time to go to the canteen, boys and girls. Eat well, and you'll grow strong.
Eat well.
Patrick knows how to feed you well. He's the best cook in town. But I would suggest you be careful with that one, if you don't want to get stuck with his endless chatter all night.
She mentioned that the first memory she has is in the laboratory with her mother. Wait, when is that? I do not remember that. That's wild. I know she mentioned a mother at one point, I just don't remember her being specific about it. So that's her first memory.
To the canteen. I stayed out of that area in my previous visits to avoid unwanted trouble.
Like, she was adopted into the Foundation at 1 month, right? There's no way she could remember her mother that early on. Most normal people wouldn't be able to, so there's definitely something different about her, right?
Forward to Comrade Blinchik.
Blinchik.
That's correct, stretchy, miss. I look forward to hearing good news from you.
Knut waves them off before settling back into his world of metal, returning and wheezing machinery replacing words. The canteen buzzes with a din of workers. The children weave through the busy hall, leading Winsong by the hand. Canteen, Rayashki.
This is our canteen. We play hide and seek here when we're hungry. Comrade stew and potato Bureaucratic are always the easiest to find. They're not very clever either. But Comrade Blinchik is very good at the game. He can only be found at dinners on Friday.
We have good food, like mashed potatoes and boiled potatoes and potato stew. Mr. Patrick said a good cook can turn even simple ingredients into delicious food.
Nina casts a glance around her before she speaks softly.
The grown-ups are so kind to us. Sometimes they give us their cheese and salad, so they only have potatoes to eat.
Don't cry, Nina. Remember when you shared your Lenka with everyone?
Lenka?
When we grow up, it'll be our turn to help the grown-ups with our potatoes.
With Regulus at the beginning of the story is mentioned... Oh. When Regulus says you have a mother. Okay. I definitely don't remember the laboratory bit. I mean, I know she mentioned remembering her mother. I don't remember the laboratory bit. I'll have to go back and look. When we grow up, it'll be our turn to help the girls. Sorry, I'm like really tired. I'm having trouble focusing. There is an awareness in them, a gravity few children possess at their age. Thankfully, some do retain their blissful innocence.
We also have the Tin Hat Festival, when they give us metal hats with food in them.
Yeah.
August, it's called a Workers' Festival. We have it every month. Everyone must sit in a circle in the canteen and sing songs, and Miss Villa plays the accordion for us. We each get a can of food in it. Sometimes it's shonka, sometimes it's salad, sometimes sprouts.
Yes, and after the Tin Hat Festival, we would bury our tin hats in the ground. Yellow ones, red ones, and white ones. Then tiny trees will come out from them next year.
I think this is
I
referencing
have
something I
told you
have no
many
idea what
times,
though.
they are not tin seeds, and they don't grow into trees. They are just tin cans. We only bury them so they won't pollute the snow.
The subject of their debate flips a hidden switch in Winsong's mind, the revelation flickering into light.
Piles of tin cans. Food.
Or was it attracting the critters? Fucking hell. She unfolds a lay energy map pointing to the last blurred area of interwoven lines and traces.
Those empty cans you mentioned, did you store them here?
Oh, I know this place. That's where the adults dug a big hole. They put some things inside. It's covered up with rocks and ice now.
This is the...
Yes, Basono is right. That's where the
resource.
grown-ups put all our old metal after they make them into little cubes. Miss Vila said it helps keep our town and the whole region clean.
So they're going after the metal
What's wrong with
deposits?
that place?
Or the artificial metal deposits, is my guess.
I'm thrilled. There must be lots of big fish left to be found around there. If I can write a report and provide a practical plan, maybe I can get I could request reinforcements.
She halts, swallowing back the unfriendly name.
Yay! School trip! School trip!
This is no trip, children. I'm not going there for a hike. You must stay in town and be good. That goes for every one of you. Understood?
Her resolution fails before she even finishes. The children's protests rise in a disordered chorus, drowning out all the other surrounding sounds. Only to be matched by the static fizz of an announcement. Clones exist in the real world. Animal cloning is about producing an animal that is essentially a copy of the original. Yes. I mean, I know that much, like with the sheep and stuff. Also, there are some species of animals that naturally clone themselves. But yeah, I think it's very viable that Burton herself is not the original iteration, right? She could very well be a clone, especially with like how strange she is in general. The most commonly involves a technique known as somatic cell nucleus transfer with magic and technology and reversing universe. Maybe it's called. Yeah, I imagine so, right? Like that. It's all mechanical when you think about it. Like replicating it shouldn't be too bad.
Shh! Quiet, kids!
Or too difficult, rather.
Attention, please. Tomorrow at 8 in the morning, we will be holding our final hearing. In this meeting, we hope to finalize our next steps and answer any remaining questions. We look forward to seeing you there.
Be continued. Let's see. How far do we go here? Chapter 16. Yep, 16 is the last chapter, though. So we're about halfway through them, ish. Alright. This place is already overflowing with treasures. Please bring something more substantial. Meeting room, Rayashki. Bertolt leans back in his armchair, casting a fleeting glance forward before his head falls.
What's this? Are you planning on getting a job with Zeno too?
There are 19 in total, okay. Okay. So we're about halfway done.
It says here you've been staying in this town for months, but it seems you're not on our list for potential recruitment from Rayashki.
The smile on his face remains as affably saccharine as ever.
I should remind you, for you researchers, what you produce tells much more about you than your efforts.
That's precisely why I'm here.
Go on.
Go on. He finally deigns to raise his head up.
Based on the recent investigations, I'm confident that there is a new energy source in the area that has yet to be discovered.
And that's it? We already believed there was something here when we sent you out in the first place. You were sent here to find it. Instead, all you do is confirm what we already knew.
But you said that perpetual energy was just a myth, didn't you?
Of course it wasn't just a myth, lady. Why else would we ask you to investigate here in the first place?
Winsong gives a frown that slips, quite intentionally, into a scowl.
Do you have anything else to report?
No, but I do need your help. I will need an armed squad to come with me to the mining sites so that I can continue my investigations into this subject. I'm afraid I don't know how long it will take. It also depends on the number of soldiers you can spare for the task.
You have a terrible sense of humor.
I'm not being funny. You want more research on the new resource too, don't you?
Miss Vinsong, do you really think this is even a remotely reasonable request? Critters are running rampant in the area, and you demand help to verify what is, as far as I can see, a highly questionable conclusion. Why should I waste Zeno's time and resources on this? Not to mention, putting the lives of our soldiers at risk.
If you have doubts, please take a look at these files.
The researcher dives her hands into her bag, but is met with a wave of dismissal.
And let me guess, you learned all this from your study of ley lines? To date, the theory of ley lines has neither been approved by the Arcane Study Review Association, nor accepted by the Project Assessment of Human Science and Technology. It has zero academic achievements, zero endorsements, and aside from the questionable example in front of me, zero researchers.
Damn.
That's all only a temporary setback.
Ms. Vinsong, I sympathize with the awkward situation I have put you in. However, Zeno simply cannot afford to waste resources on a proposal without any solid evidence.
I will give you something. All I need is a bit of help up front, I promise.
The look in his eyes is glazed, bored, but Winsong does not falter.
Did you not come here to deal with these critters? Then what's the fuss about? Can't you deal with them while accompanying me to these mining sites as well?
Bertolt's eyes widen, now unglazed as he says, He paces silently, drifting at first and proceeding to the windowsill.
I'm afraid you've got our intentions altogether wrong.
The window closes tightly, sealing the last whispers of wind from the outside.
Zeno is here for one thing only. A source of perpetual energy.
Yeah, you're not gonna
This
find
is
that.
what you have been tasked to find. Viz the resources you were given. We won't approve any further requests until you have a solid lead. We aren't paying you for a charity mission.
So then you never planned on controlling the critters here. The squad you brought here was to control the town?
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's, you know.
A force sufficient to deal with the critters would have attracted unwanted attention from our rivals. It is not in our interests to share this town or its resources. I'm sure you can see that.
So even if we do find the resource for you, you won't leave this town or its people alone.
We're talking about the ultimate energy source of Arcanum. Do you think we will just walk away and leave it to be squandered by a bunch of ignorant peasants and miners?
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Berthold's smile fades like a bad aftertaste.
What we are going to do with Rayashki should be of no concern to you. We have made every arrangement for them. We aren't monsters. Before the final decision is made, we will continue to help the locals as much as we can. Including you.
Before the wild-eyed researcher can voice her dissent, Berthold steers the conversation with well-practiced ease. Wordlessly, he draws out an attractive-looking document and slides it across the table towards her.
Is this?
You seem surprised. Isn't it what you have always wanted?
Oh look, another bribe.
With Zeno's endorsement, you will be able to teach your program in any university. We have prepared this gesture of our good faith in you. Now, it's your turn to show yours. Forget about an armed squad. They have more important things to do. You're on your own, my friend. But prove to us that you can do this job, and bring us the best answer you can give.
Okay, I know Zeno is the bad guys for this one, but they're offering everyone involved a pretty sweet deal, right? Like, people of Rayashki get work, and they get to move out of the fucking tundra. Winsong gets her recommendation, like, damn, man. Like, I get they're the bad guys, but damn, that's a good deal. The pale letterhead stings Winsong's fingertips.
And this piece of paper will be yours when you
Oh, she's got to complete the mission first. Yeah, good luck with that.
I understand.
See that you do. Good luck out there, Miss Winsong.
Deep footprints, now half buried in fresh snow, trace the path of the researcher's determined march behind her. Oh, she's going it alone, yep. Her courage, passion, and body temperature rapidly cooling against the blizzard.
Was I out of my mind? He was just trying to get me out of his office. He threw a carrot out of the window and I chased right after it like a blinded mule. Still.
Her hand lingers on the paper nestled within her pocket.
Maybe this carrot is too good to let go.
With a sigh of resignation, she reaches deeper.
Focus. Once I fill the gaps in my data, I will be able to pitch it to Zeno, and all subsequent research won't be a problem anymore. The primary food sources for Hoytuk are raw minerals underground. Those processed metals only keep them from starving to death. They wouldn't have gone across any icy ocean just to gnaw on old equipment and trash. All I need to do is find a trace of their activities so that I can learn about their current conditions, and from there, locate their other food sources. Stay calm. Hoytuk are gentle creatures. They rarely attack humans. I just need to be cautious.
It's like she forgets that these ones are like fucked up. Her internal struggles will have to wait as more practical problems loom larger. The blizzard has covered almost everything, leaving a few cans to poke out, rattling along with the wind. So she...
Alright, change of direction. If I were to look down instead of looking forward, maybe I should scan the area and follow where the ley energy is leading, just like I did at Silbury Hill. Of course, I hope the outcome will be different this time.
She surveys the expanse of boundless snow.
Before all that, I need to clear out this place. Природа — это числа и черты. Природа — это мозаика цветов.
The soil churns in slurry waves along the seashore, a mix of mud, snow, and stone. A violent resonance spreads beyond it, one to which she is completely unaware. Oh, here we go. Clearly, these creatures harbor some discontent at these scars on their land.
Shoot. Now I've done it.
What did you think was gonna happen?
Those vestigial digging teeth. The 3 fingers long tearing teeth. These are not Hoytuk.
Uh-oh. They bare their teeth and claws in a rhythmic way, like a primitive pre-feeding ritual.
These scaled wings must be for swimming. Then you must be... Mutant Kikituk from the Olga area.
You should be at the Olga Strait.
You should be at the Olga Strait hunting for migrating salmon and whales, not here.
They hunt whales? Fuck. The Kikikuks can no longer contain themselves and pounce towards Windsong. Oh, they look like orcas. That's kind of cool. I like this design. This this is a really funny fucking design. I like that a lot.
Could be found. Oh, there's a bubble. Uh-huh. Oh, there's a bubble. It could be found. Another jar? Relax.
Easy peasy.
Foundations, kids.
Windsong sits slumped on the ground, gasping for air. Their fury has not yet abated. The creatures hold their ground.
Why would you come here? What inspired you to trek across the ocean just to hunt for humans?
The aggressors show no signs of understanding. They inch closer, drool dropping from their mouths.
It seems while their claws and teeth have degraded, their reflex is much quicker than a Hoytuk's. They perceived my approach even though I used my ley line reader as a dampener.
Oh, a rumble distant than near drowns out her sigh. Bang. A gunshot hammers out nearby, the shot landing on one of the snarling Kikituk. The bolt is drawn back, the familiar sound sends another scurrying away. Yeah.
Get out!
Oh, okay, Kenny.
Get out of here! I'll cover you!
Cover you. The pictures on Google of Kikituk are monsters like whales, or there was another version of the pictures that look like children's drawing. Okay, so they're like some fucked up whale creatures sort of deal. More gunfire thunders over and over until the last Kikituk abandons their position.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Yevgeny. Composing herself, the researcher immediately returns to her work.
Yevgeny, the kids told
Yevgeny.
me about a can pile. Is it nearby?
Can pile?
He furrows his brow, motioning with his eyes to some hilly snowdrifts nearby.
They must be talking about our waste metal. I'm afraid it's gone, Miss Winson. Maybe animals dug it all out, or maybe those little monsters ate it.
They definitely ate it.
Do you know if that happened before or after the Runian mines ran dry?
I'm not sure.
Something attracted them here, they ate all the metal, and then they moved into the mines, yeah? No,
You
stop.
shouldn't be here. There's nothing of value to find in this place.
Phoenix Brown furrows is some kind of
And you're not supposed to be using this arcane equipment here either. We have a better way to deal with these fierce little monsters. What you're doing will just attract more of them.
His statement battles her.
You can drive away the Kikituks?
Not anymore. We don't have much left to fight them off with. Zeno didn't bring any equipment for our team, let alone any weapons. Go. Leave before it's too late.
He carefully checks the rifle in his hand.
What if I don't want to just give up?
Yevgeny slows down, making his inspection come across as even more deliberate.
I've seen your residence application. You say you are a researcher. Then you should be clever enough not to go down a fruitless and dangerous path.
I admit that what I am doing here is reckless, and maybe I'm just motivated by my own selfish interests, but I can't just walk away from my commitments. You have lived in Rayashki for a long time. You know what commitment means here much better than I do.
There's a shift in his face as he turns away from her.
I won't give it up so easily. Just like the people here won't give away their land like nothing.
It's stubbornness. That's all.
That's all.
They should have gone to other places and put their talents to good use, rather than staying here to fight for nothing.
Fair, right? Winsong holds a stare, lifting her chin to match up to him.
Is that why you gave away the town so easily to Zeno? Do you really even know your neighbors?
I have lived and worked together with them for decades. Don't be ridiculous. I just...
He wants that promotion.
I agree with Zeno's perspective.
I've been to many places, and I have encountered many people like you. Stuck-up leader types. Making decisions on behalf of other people because it's what's good for them.
And they should listen, just as you should now.
He braces the rifle as he motions her back and scans near the horizon. I almost forgot the monsters in the game are attracted to arcanum energy. Okay. Is that just for this chapter, like the creatures here, or is that just critters in general? I feel like it'd be critters in general, right? They have to subsist off something.
It's my responsibility to protect everyone, to do right by them.
Right.
I will make them see it tomorrow at the hearing.
Here the knowledge, the only days. The only days left. Stage 10. People Square, Rayashki. People stream in from all directions. They stand now at the crossroads of the town's fate.
People of Rayashki, my dear friends, good day to you all. Over the past 2 days, Zeno has assessed the potential risks and benefits in the area and held hearings on what should be done about the future of this town. Our hearings saw very limited attendance. We've taken that to be a gesture of approval. Mr. Evgeny has put in a great effort helping to make these changes happen. We all owe him a great deal. Thank you, sir.
He motions to Evgenia at his side. A freshly printed document unfurls before all present. Zeno's seal stamped deliberately in the most prominent position.
Please believe that we have made the best decision we could for you. We all know the runium here has run dry, and the land has been exhausted of all further material wealth. Now and into the foreseeable future. As a result, your local processing factory has lost its intended purpose.
I don't know where to say, but in an event they said the energy from magic attracts monsters, which is a big reason humans are not... Oh, okay. So just in general, arcane creatures are drawn to arcanum. That makes sense.
What's more, Zeno has changed our cooperation strategy. Though your town's loyalty will never be forgotten, we must have a sober-minded view of its costs and benefits. To sum up, our final decision is that we will be ending operations and all future cooperation between Zeno and Rayashki.
A heavy hammer swings in the square, producing a whistling wind.
Well, Mr. Bertolt, you have just got here. Perhaps you didn't have enough time to get to know us well enough. Rayashki's value is not just in Arunium. We have many other factories too.
Urgent words of protest flood in from all sides.
Yes, you have a brick factory, a power plant, many forklifts, a smattering of conveyor belts. But all these were all built and suited for only the processing of runium ore. Without the ore, they simply have no benefit to us.
Crowd murmurs, voices bubbling up and simmering like boiling water. Bertolt wraps the table, ending the broil.
Now that you have full knowledge of the situation and our intentions, we want to assure you that your loyalty has not been forgotten. So we have generously prepared 2 choices for the future of Rayashki.
The assembly hushes.
Firstly, Zeno believes that you have many valuable qualities. The determination and skills you've shown in the past year of our cooperation have proved that your people can be a great asset to us.
Bertolt scans across the faces, looking back at him.
Indeed. Many of you already meet the entrance requirements to join Zeno. Therefore, on behalf of Zeno Arms Academy, I wish to extend a heartfelt invitation to you. Leave Rayashki, join us, and work for one of our other branches as members of Zeno.
What are you saying? You want us to abandon our home for some promise of a job?
Calm down, Mr. Knut. This is not about abandoning your home. It's about joining us in our efforts to contribute to world peace through a more optimized allocation of manpower.
So you're just going to pack us all up and ship us away to work for Zeno?
You misunderstand, madam.
He closes the folder, looking conspicuously towards the children beside Winsong.
Every year, Zeno dismisses 4% of our employees because they failed to pass our rigorous work reviews. And the number of our colleagues that are killed in the line of duty is even larger still. Working for Zeno is a privilege, not a gift. That's why only a small number of you will be allowed to come and work for us.
Oh man.
What? Now, according to Article 58 in the section on protection of Arcanist rights, signed at the Event Horizon Convention, we provide basic supplies for any residents who haven't been offered a position with Zeno. They will be transferred immediately to the nearest relief station until our social workers contact them for further arrangements.
So then, you're suggesting you will send our children and elderly away to some kind of refugee station? And the rest of us must go to work for Zeno without any questions? Pridurak! This is total rubbish!
Rubbish. He waves off, then pushes aside the Zeno soldier in front of him.
Sir, please lower your voice.
Well, you would be glad to know that your work experience in particular is valuable to Zeno, Mr. Knut.
He attempts a pat on Knut's shoulder, who shrugs him off. But Bertolt acts entirely unfazed, unfolding the document further.
If you're not interested in our first plan, we have another. If the residents in the area prove reluctant to relocate, Zeno can offer another alternative. As stated earlier, Rayashki is a remote town that possesses some significant industrial infrastructure. Therefore, it could be considered an ideal location for a new complex of arms factories.
We're making weapons
There
now.
would be a need to substantially upgrade the Rayashki Wharf, to turn it into one of the seaports Zeno plans to build across the globe. Additionally, a radio station will be constructed within the town, which will better facilitate our communications throughout the Arctic region so as to stabilize and coordinate with the other powers in the area. We will now be passing out forms, listing the options I've presented. Please fill them in with your choice.
So your only other option is to turn Rayashki into some kind of military base under Zeno's control?
I won't put it so bluntly, but you're not incorrect. Our resources, as much as anyone's, are limited, and they must be put to good use. We cannot afford to waste them on strategically useless, costly people and places. If you want Zeno to help you, you should be able to give us something in return. Don't you agree?
Just don't have Zeno help you. He folds the proposal again with satisfaction. The crowd heaves in protest, held at bay by the soldiers around Bertolt.
So Yevgeny, this is the best choice you made for all of us?
I must speak in Mr. Evgeny's defense. He is committed to his duty, and only wishes to do what he can for his compatriots.
Shameless! All you've done is sold us out!
You tell them, Knut.
Do you think it's getting a bit windy lately? Clearly, with all the hot air in Evgeny's head, his mind has been blown away.
And they are not holding back. Countless eyes fall on Yevgeny. Disappointment, sadness, perhaps something more complex.
I swear to you, I'm not doing this out of my own interest. Comrades, there are many better places in this world, and you have better purposes to fulfill. You shouldn't waste your time here.
Bah. The bearer of a man puffs up with anger.
Let's all calm down, my friends. It's time to be reasonable. Think carefully. Zeno has been very generous regarding the offers before you.
He readies himself as if about to launch into a grand prepared speech, but his hand trembles. A chill wind sweeps over him.
Generous? Now that's ridiculous. We won't let you take away our family and friends, nor are we about to let you turn our town into a puppet state.
We will stay here, no matter what.
Comrades, I understand how you feel right now. But we must face the cruel reality of our situation.
And you're willing to send away our own people, or give up on all we've built here because of this so-called reality?
I mean, it is a reality. You can't really deny that.
It is the only way forward.
I think Evgenia is a bit, narrow-minded, but he's not wrong.
It will be the end of us either way.
Do we have to turn to Zeno for this help?
Evgenia fails to react at first, but a defeated expression comes over him.
The truth is, just as Rayashki's economy has been dependent on Runium, we remain dependent on Zeno. Without them, at the present rate of consumption, we will be out of supplies and materials within a year.
A silent tidal shift sweeps over those assembled. The researcher observes the change with harsh recognition.
The situation looks bad. Zeno is determined to gain control over this place.
Fight. She touches the unsealed letter. Her fingers jump away as if it had been electrified.
But if I complete the task as Zeno requested, does it mean?
Berthold's words echo in her ears.
I will shatter their dream? And what about my dream?
The words stick in her throat.
Did the people who refused to acknowledge the study of ley lines act out of the same self-interest? I've seen this happen so many times before. A simple dream is made to face a cruel reality, where the clever ones give up and leave, and the stubborn fools remain, waiting to be crushed. We asked for our misery.
Yeah. She turns, her mixed feelings refusing to settle. The wall of soldiers has suppressed most of the dissent in the square. But still, some bravely charge forward. Wait.
I'm not finished!
Berthold dismisses her with his hand as he leaves the stage.
But I am Miss Vila.
The researcher remains stunned, but this potent chemistry of hope and resolve begins to catalyze something in her.
Sir, with all due respect, I can't complete this task alone. As an ordinary researcher, I can relate to them. Please, forgive me for interrupting.
She lifts her head proudly, looking out in the direction of the crowd.
I have heard so much about Rayashki these days. They started from nothing, but bit by bit they accomplished the impossible. Their voice should be heard. Природа — это числа и черты.
The soil and snow under her feet becomes imbued with new life, rising up around her. They clamp onto military boots and surge up, then into gun barrels, plugging them up in a comical faction. Eh? The teacher seizes on this opportunity. He climbs over the wall of confused soldiers and charges forward.
Mr. Berthold,
Mr. Berto.
We can't hold them any longer.
Alright, killing some soldiers now, huh?
Welcome, friends. This book or this book? Time to turn the page. To transcribe. I can't read it. Or let's make salute. Like a metaphor?
Easy peasy.
You have done well, comrade.
Surprise. Their conflict ceases. Scaly palms forcefully grab Bertolt's arm, sharp nails tearing at his sleeve.
Now, will you listen to me?
Clean new ledger is stuffed into Bertolt's hands.
We don't need your help. Your soldiers and your tyranny are no longer welcome here.
Vila turns around to face her people.
Comrades, what do you say? Shall we solve the problem with the strength of our own hands and hearts?
Here we go.
What else can we do? This is what we've always done when there was a problem.
There was a problem.
There will be more solutions than problems if we work together.
If I must die, I will die here with all of you.
Just stop talking nonsense, you idiot. Nobody is going to die.
Rayashki belongs to all of us. We will stand with it till its last moment.
The sudden surge of conviction and unity cows the guards as they move backwards. Many blush with shame. Some of them quietly withdraw.
Huh. They might say they're just ordinary people. But they are so brave and noble.
To be continued. I mean, I don't know, it's a wildly impractical thing, but damn. Okay. I think we're gonna go to chapter 13, I think, and then I'm gonna call it for the night. Because then we can do the last 6 chapters tomorrow. And then probably get started on Eternity's Anecdote, since that ends soon. A lonely researcher aimlessly paces through Rayashki Square. The town's cold wind clearly cannot smooth the wrinkles of her brow.
Could I really have traded the future of these people away from my ley line studies?
I've not been keeping up with secret. And when all humans disappeared, they said they did not have a high chance of being attacked because they're not arcanum. Oh, at 1.2, what was on 2? Oh, that was Green Lake. Makes sense.
I was a mule chasing after a carrot on a stick. They lured me here all so I could help ruin everything.
Her voice bursts up from her chest.
You seem to be in a good mood.
Eh?
We taught Zeno a lesson. They were forced to live with their devil's bargains and tails stuck behind them. We fought back, finally. A nice little trick that was. Thank you. Comrade Winsong.
She smiles at Winsong, giving her a wink.
We all know who the mysterious hero was that gave us a helping hand.
I didn't do anything.
It's no shame to have helped your friends, not to mention to stand up to Zeno.
Zeno.
Have more confidence in yourself, Comrade Winsong.
Yeah, man, come on.
But will you really gain anything from this fight?
Not sure. But we have to do something, right? That's why I'm here.
To talk to me? I don't know why, but Miss Vila, you must have thought too much of me. In fact, I'm only a simple researcher. I'm not powerful enough to change Zeno's decision.
You are the one thinking too much, Comrade Winsong. Your ley line lessons were much more popular than you think. They have had a positive effect on the children. Now they are looking at the bigger picture and observing the world in a more detailed way. You've unleashed their curiosity. Is the aurora the bubbles spit out by the stars? They form such a beautiful map. Do they study ley lines too?
Vila feigns distress, shaking her head with a pretended childlike confusion.
But it remains the case that the study of ley lines has never been verified. For all its ambitions, only a limited number of people studied it in the past decades, and that number is decreasing even now.
Even now? Mm-hmm. Vila nods thoughtfully.
What you're looking at is not some skin problem, but my past.
Yes.
My past as a Rusalka.
Rusalka? You mean the mermaid from folklore?
My people used to live in a far secluded place in the north, away from the humans. For hundreds of years there was only hostility, plunder and slaughter between us and them.
We still slaughter them.
We only
Let's go.
started to learn more about each other in the last few decades. And then I was born. It's been a hard life growing up within human society, but I've become used to it. Still, some things never got easier. Most humans still thought I was a freak. They welcomed me with mocking, sarcasm and contempt for my people, my heritage. As for the Rusalki, they too found a half-blooded mermaid unacceptable. They didn't approve of my living among the humans, forcing me to live as a fugitive in Moscow and St. Petersburg.
Half-blooded. It was a nauseating term, one separating the Rusalki from the scaleless humans who had stolen their homeland. An ancient myth that was the source of the enduring hatred between Rusalki and humans.
They tried to catch me by every means possible, so they could wash away the stain they saw in me.
That sounds very difficult.
That's rough, buddy.
Humans have stigmatized and hunted the Rusalki for centuries, while Rusalki still have the instinct to attack and plunder human ships even now.
No.
How are they supposed to make peace in such little time? That was what I thought years ago. Then I came to this town.
She surveys the white land. The unifying cover of snow removes all distinctions, differences, and flaws.
A wonderful world where humans and Rusalki could live in peace. I was finally convinced. In Rayashki, everyone can make contributions with their skills, whether you are a human, a Rusalka, or a ley line researcher. I don't mean to give you more stress or push you. You will always be our friend, whatever your choices. But this is not an unreachable dream. It's real.
A familiar phrase wells up inside her again, conjured from a long, silent past. Flashback time? Yo, that dude's got wide-ass shoulders. The girl, then much thinner and more stubborn than now, couldn't help but cheer. The other lady hunters failed to take notice as they combed through their scattered papers.
The editor of the environmental research agreed to publish our report, finally! But he only gave us 5,000 words. On the last few pages. Undoubtedly, it's still a good start. Our first step to reviving the study of ley lines.
Winsong beams with excitement, clumsily sprawling over the table to select from their papers with care. Dull, dry theories shine anew, bright and vivid in her eyes. A table of twinkling stars, yet these stars must shine against an all-consuming field of darkness.
That's it, I give up. Maybe I'll study something else, like urban planning or landscape design.
Damn. That's a
At
hard
least
pivot.
I can make a living that way.
Winsong remains buried in her heap of books and manuscripts, oblivious to the loss.
The study of ley lines is outdated. Everyone agrees now that it can't be verified by science. This whole study was a dead end. Ley lines are only a baseless theory of arcanum.
The old papers on the table, filled with nothing more than nonsense and wasted ink. At least that's how the world received it.
I tried talking about our study of ley lines with other arcanists, but almost no one has ever heard of it. They are more interested in Laplace's breakthroughs. Or anecdotes in their own fields, like the chaotic energy sampling mentioned in the paper written by the Butterfly of Lorentz.
Damn, X, you're screwing them over. The stars have dimmed.
So, maybe it is an unreachable dream?
A long moment of wistful distraction falls back into reality. After much hesitation, she begins to speak again.
I do wish I could help, but it would take a lot of resources to verify the theory behind ley lines. There may be even danger and sacrifice.
I wasn't there when you made X anecdote, but we found the ultimate goal of LSCC and Lorentz in a way. What was their ultimate goal? Was that in X's anecdote? I just remember the whole predetermined world of causality thing. I don't remember them actually stating a proper goal besides, you know, storm stuff.
Even Zeno has paid little attention to my research. They only see it as a means to an end. Researchers in other fields can stand on the shoulders of giants, while I don't even have a school to return to. I doubt that the study of ley lines will help you much.
I see. Well, thank you for your honesty, Comrade Winsong.
Vela looks away, holding the regret deep in her chest.
I'm sorry.
До скорой встречи.
I'll see you soon.
До встречи, Vela.
She bows her head and turns, taking a few more difficult steps away. Perhaps it was her unattainable dream of revival that slowed her, or the weight of all that had gone wrong.
Comrade Winsong.
LSCC, the real goal is to create a machine that can predict everything. Oh, that's right. Shit. It's Laplace's demon. That's the term for it. If you know all the variables, every initial starting point, then the entirety of the future is something that can be predicted. Yeah. Yes, I recall that now. A burst of light steps forward. Jesus Christ.
Don't forget your next lesson. The
A
children
burst
are
of
still
light
waiting.
steps leaps toward her once more. There we go. Don't forget your next lesson. Children are still waiting. Okay.
But the town is...
Town is...
Life must continue, comrade. We can't let our worries stop us.
Not for long.
Okay.
The night train. The train chugs along, leaving no stragglers behind. Classroom. Rayashki. As the chalk marks its final stroke, the lecturer exhales a long breath.
Class is over.
It's over.
Thank goodness I still remembered the basic premises of ley lines in biology. Feel free to ask me any questions. Cheer up, little ones. There won't be any exams for this subject.
She offers a hesitant joke to ease the awkwardness of the class. Their leader is Pierre Simon Laplace. If you search for a quote, you will find one in which he says that our role is to create God. I gotta look that up. I like that. I really like that. But their usual playful responses never emerge. She turns to face a class that must be bored, asleep, maybe distracted. She's met instead by clear and focused eyes.
Miss Winsong, are you going to dig up those potatoes alone again?
Is there anything we can do to help you? Miss Vila said we will work together to beat the critters out there. That
Hope
we
you
will
don't
find
take the
their
kids.
weakness as long as we finish the map with you.
Just like how you taught us to. Kikirin are not dangerous at all. They are plant-eating critters and pose little threat to humans.
I have ropes, flowers, and white gloves. We will dig up a lot of potatoes together.
This child.
Piotr is strong. He can move any rocks that are in our way. Nina can prepare a kettle of warm water for everyone. And
The children's voices rise and fall. What began as icy determination soon melts into a cascade of sobbing
I'm
tears.
sorry, little ones. I wish I could verify all the theories we've been working on, but...
She fixes Rayashki's ley line energy map to the blackboard, circling an empty void.
As you can see, a critical part is missing. It might take months to finish it. Besides, there may be even more dangerous critters in that area.
then the town will become the witch's new castle. Or perhaps an empty castle.
Her attempt to turn the mood again falls flat. A merciful bell rings out the dreary topic like a dirge. Thankfully, the next teacher arrives swiftly to relieve her.
Quiet, children.
Quiet, children. She holds her gaze firm, sweeping over the assembled children.
Wipe your tears and cheer up. Our Rayashki will stand strong.
Really?
But what are you going to do?
Winsong is taken aback at first, then, contemplating the possibility, she delicately weighs her words.
Vila, I hope you aren't seriously considering Zeno's...
Of course not. They might try, but we will never give in. No matter what, for now, we must find a way to protect our town. We will need a shelter from these creatures. We've all decided to stay.
The curtains part and sunlight pours in from outside.
Look outside, children.
Outside.
Each and every one of us is doing what we can to hold our town together.
Knut's factory is spitting out puffy bubbles?
The workers are going to transform the abandoned factories into something useful. They're cleaning the ore and debris there. Not an easy job. After that, we will start new production lines and cooperate with the surrounding cities. We will grow potatoes, breed fish, and make canned food. We will find our strength together.
Are we putting makeup on the factories? We can paint their faces and put beautiful garlands on them.
So what is Mr. Patrick doing?
Everyone's waiting in line. You see the Teen Hat Festival again?
I'm sorry, August. I think we will have to live without our tin hats and Comrade Blinchik for a long time. They are signing on to a reform of our rationing. To transform our factories, we need to cut down the budget for the canteen.
Oh, thank you for your sacrifice, Comrade Blinchik.
Damn.
You deserve a medal and some chocolate.
Look! The bulldozers are tearing down those houses!
Yes. We all agreed to exchange some of our living space for more land to grow food.
Children crowd the window, silent but beaming with pride as if paying tribute. When the song follows Villa's narrative to its conclusion,
The price is much higher than it first seemed. Is it worth it?
and Henrik Anton Lawrence has a quote in which he says that you cannot create something to predict the universe because everything is random. I don't actually know who this guy is. But yeah, I think that's a pretty commonly held idea after the discovery of quantum physics, right? Because the idea is that things aren't, on a quantum level, aren't necessarily, what's the word, causal, right? Which kind of killed Laplace's whole idea of you know, deterministic future. The price is much higher than it first seemed. Is it worth it?
Of course. You cannot find what we have here in Zeno's barracks or in the relief camp. You can't find it anywhere in the world. Think about the old comrades and the babies. They're the past and the future of Rayashki. How could we leave them behind or subject them to Zeno's whims?
Mechanical sounds from outside carry across the snow from afar, as if the land itself is calling.
No one shall ever be abandoned in Rayashki.
I think people out there would be envious if they saw what you are doing here.
She doesn't press further.
We really aren't doing anything so special. We're only doing our job, our duty to one another.
Her scales and spines have risen, though whether it's a sign of pride or fear, she can't say.
There are lots of conflicts out there. Conflicts like the one between humans and Rusalki.
Laplace leader of LCC. Oh, right. Lawrence, yeah. Of course. I do believe at least... I know Pierre Simon Laplace is a historical figure. Hendrik Anton I'd have to look up. Because he's probably someone who also existed.
Like the ones that mocked the study of ley lines and dissolved our school. They did so simply because it might take from their funds or steal their glory. Everyone forever building walls just to keep separated from each other. Hoarding whatever they could get their hands on. Then they blame the aftermath, the harm they do to others on cruel realities. Cruel reality. It seems to be everyone's mortal enemy, the cause of all suffering, war, greed, the perfect excuse to never care.
Her voice trails into a mutter.
But things are different in Rayashki. They took me in unconditionally when I came here, and they stayed friendly for a week, a month, a year, and even now. So naturally, it became my dream too. Everyone here shares a beautiful dream. A dream that we can work and enjoy life together. That someday, there will be no more conflicts between people or worries about tomorrow. That everyone will be able to work to achieve their passions, whatever field they wish to pursue. A utopia. It's not just a way of life for now, but the future we're always trying to reach. I've spread the study of ley lines in Rayashki, along with its potential.
A simple invitation catches Winsong's eye with dense, messy signatures filling every possible space.
They showed great interest. The study tells us about the secrets that could lie beneath the earth after all. Perhaps it will bring hope to Rayashki.
But I'm not one of you.
You taught the children something new, and you helped us explore our town's potential, didn't you?
The so-called Laplace force is the result of atomic applications of Lorentz force, both a creative force that is determined by the other. Yeah, okay, so they're kind of, in a sense, symbiotic, which I guess is kind of indicative of the roles in game as well, right? So I mean, Lorentz is just like a splinter, or not Lorentz. Yeah, Lorentz is like the, splinter
Everyone here is more than happy to help you.
Laplace.
You know, Comrade Knut has been boasting about the assistance he was able to provide for your studies. And many others are envious. They want to help you too. More importantly, you already have a group of curious students here willing to study your theory.
It's kind of interesting that they switched him around, though. Because Laplace is the... Like in terms of the representative of each faction. Because realistically, Laplace should be the one in charge of,
Even though my research doesn't have any endorsements or achievements?
Based on philosophy.
Of course. Perhaps we can be the first to endorse it, after your lecture.
You're being far too obvious in your recruitment tactics.
Vila smiles, ignoring her feigned protest.
The world is not a beautiful place. Poverty, privilege, egoism, exclusivism, so many problems. But that doesn't mean it can't get better in the future. Perhaps the experiment we're doing in Rayashki now will become the symbol of a better future. A new world where all races and ideas can coexist. Well, of course it may fail and end up a ruin. But at least we've tried.
She watches Vela standing proudly as if gazing at a great ship bound for distant shores. Venturing all, never shrinking back.
We love our home, and we're ready to devote our lives to it.
I can't shake the feeling you're inviting me aboard a leaky boat that could sink at any moment.
It's not like you have anywhere else to go. Damn.
Maybe, Comrade Winsong. But should we sink, remember your friend is a Rusalka, and we do well underwater.
Winsong blinks, half wondering if her new friend has gone mad. And finding it matters still that she is reaching out to solemnly accept the invitation. What an honor.
What an honor.
So long, Zeno. Alright. We're gonna run through this chapter, and I think this is gonna be where I call it for the night. It is 6 a.m. Shit. And then we'll have like 6 more chapters to do tomorrow. Hit Eternity's anecdote as well, so we can get that out of the way. And then we'll do Villa and Windsong's, both of them, their stories on the day afterwards. The crowd has gathered together again. It is a familiar place, one she's visited in dreams before. This time, though, her watchers seem more curious than doubtful. Their eager eyes follow her every move.
Today, I'm going to introduce the study of ley lines and the progress of my research on the Rayashki.
Winsong takes a deep breath, pulling out a few pages of research notes. The pages are passed from hand to hand, stirring excitement.
Thanks to your help, I have finished the drafts of the town's ley energy map. And I have confirmed the presence of many precious resources.
Nice.
Through these colorful lines?
These lines and spots show us the state of local ley energy. Each color represents a different concentration of creatures or minerals. Simply put, this area covered in frozen earth and frost contains many rich resource veins. These gray marks symbolize them. They are located in most of the corners of the map, all of them outside of town.
Oh, maybe that's why Grandpa said we couldn't grow anything here in the beginning. They eventually solved that problem by importing rich black topsoil for our fields.
I'm back. What's happening? They denied Zeno. They denied Zeno's offer about 2 chapters ago, and Winsong is now showing them where all the new resources are, or allegedly are. Let's see if it blows up in their faces. Actually, this chapter is called Farewell Zeno, so there you go.
As for the runium you'd mine to make a living, look at the dark gray marks. According to the map, they are becoming increasingly scattered and faint, so it can be hard to see them. Besides resources, we can also find concentrations of different creatures using the map. The navy blue marks represent the Kikirn, while the aqua green ones represent the mutant Kikirn from the wharf. They feed on plants, and you can find their traces in many corners of the town.
Are you going to stream the entire thing? I'm probably going to call it for tonight on this chapter. I'm probably going to stream the rest of it tomorrow. From what I understand, there should only be like 6 or so more chapters, but it's 6 in the morning here right now, so I need to sleep before work. Tomorrow is going to be the rest of the main story, and I think I have to do the anecdote for Eternity first before the side stories because it ends sooner. I believe it ends in a day or so. And then the day after that, I want to do the anecdotes, or the stories for both Winsong and Villa.
The red-brown marks are the Kikituks, an aggressive species. They're vicious by nature and prey on just about anything arcane they can find, even other creatures.
I feel as though my head is going to explode from all this new information. Can you explain a little simpler for this old workhorse, Comrade Winsong?
Of course.
She proudly produces a small handful of fluff.
This sample comes from a Kikituk in the mine. I took it with Mr. Yevgeny's help.
Oh, Yevgeny stuck around, damn. I figured he would have been run out of town.
Seems like just a normal piece of fluff. no matter how I look at it.
Yes, and in most people's eyes, it's nothing more than that. But
Because
in a
it's nothing
lay
more than
hunter's eyes, it reveals a great deal of information. The navy blue marks and the red brown ones seem to mix together, and there are also dark gray ones popping out among them. So, it looks like our Mr. Kikituk ate well. Perhaps he had a kikien soup with a runium-flavored kefir.
Looks like these critters have realized our dream long before we could.
But what about those black marks? If my memory serves me right, the map you just showed us had those black marks too.
Yes, but they don't match any creature or resource we know.
Oh, there's something
I believe it
unknown.
represents a new kind of resource.
Oh. Well, where is it then?
The mood has intensified, residents clamoring around to see.
We can only find the answer in this area here.
You mean in the depths of the mine?
Winsong gives a slow affirmative nod.
The ley energy is emanating from there. Afterwards, it flows throughout the food chain, passing through all kinds of creatures and materials before eventually returning to its source. Then our new resource is probably somewhere there.
So we need to find it. Then we won't have to put up with Zeno anymore.
A new resource, the professional energy. That's what I was thinking as well, yeah. Oops.
But do you have any other proof?
Audience sparks up, rippling rumors, and the first questions and excitement. Do you have any proof? He lays out his hands as if expecting Winsong to put something there.
Of course. Remember the critter you found in the mine, Mr. Knut?
Yes. You said it was called, Hoitu.
Hoituk.
Hoituk, yeah.
A subspecies of Kikituk. They live underground and feed on minerals.
That was around the time we had begun to run out of runium.
The Hoituk came in and just started eating everything, damn.
Is that so? But they were still there. Perhaps even more active than usual. That could only mean they were attracted by some other mineral or energy source, right? And even though I didn't find any further Hoituks during my research, I did find the Olga mutants, one of their close relatives.
Okay.
Since they are social creatures, my discovery must prove the presence of some of these Hoituks. Even if we cannot find them yet.
Resource in question. The surrounding cheers swell again, prompting Evgenia to clear his throat.
But in the end, this is all just conjecture. Are we really going to waste all our time and money on your assumptions?
Fucking hell. Okay, we've already revolted, man. Just sit down and accept it. Holy shit.
Or can you prove it's something more than conjecture?
Oh.
I would call it a preliminary conclusion.
But could it be endorsed by any authorities or proven theories?
So far, no.
So then it is little more than a fairy tale. Am I right?
Like, I understand the point of view, but at the same time, you don't really have any other options, right? You're kind of fucked now. Evgenia's now infamous brow furrows once more.
It's never easy to dig, you know.
Like, he's being realistic, but also you don't have any other options.
All we have left in Rayashki are some outdated machines. Besides, Miss Winsong mentioned the critters. Maybe their presence there is some kind of proof, but they are themselves a danger. It is obvious that there will be many more critters there than near the town. And you would have us waste time, perhaps even sacrifice our comrades, to pursue what could just be a fairy
He just plays
tale?
it too safe, that's all. Like, I don't think he is actually malicious, he's actually just too, you know, he just wants to play safe. But you really can't afford to do that right now. He advances closer, step by step. Winsong's mouth opens silently. The look on his face is far too familiar. The moment before the collapse of Leyline Academia. Yes, that is the look. Suffocating weight of questions and regrets.
There is no doubt. The cost is simply too high.
Simply too high.
Who would be foolish enough to dig some holes in the wild just to see if there are critter bones in there?
Harsh sounds of laughter come from everywhere and nowhere all at once.
The answer is very clear. We don't need new kind of geography meets with arcane. Let's save everybody some trouble. Conclusion. The application for Project Leyline should be rejected.
Agreed. Even cranks can apply for research funds nowadays.
She staggers back, bumping into something solid. A strange yet familiarly cool sensation lands on her shoulder. Vila stands behind her.
Keep moving, Comrade Winsong. Keep moving.
Moving, well.
The people of Rayashki don't back down in the face of their problems. Whatever it is, we can fix it together, right? I approve of Comrade Winsong's proposal.
Approve.
Me too!
Me too. The surging ship launches forward, plowing through stubbornness and doubt, never looking back.
That's right. This is not a gamble or a fairy tale.
Her hands tremble as she opens her backpack.
Here's a ley line simulator. It can simulate the creatures on the ley energy map, so we can do further analysis.
Is it able to simulate the critters too?
Certainly. Simulating critters is lesson 1 in the ley line textbook. We can use the simulation to carry out targeted training against the critters.
She has a whole
Looks
fucking
like the study
hologram
of
machine in her
ley lines is more
backpack.
organized than I thought. Congratulations, Comrade Winsong. You will have the manpower you need.
Vila is such a supporting person, it's hard not to love her. Yeah, their roles were swapped around, like, from what I expected, right? I was expecting, Winsong to be the strong one, and Vila to sort of be the, you know, the one second guessing herself, but it's very much not the case here. Winsong turns as more and more fists are raised into the air.
Turn it on, comrade!
Turn it on, comrade.
We can't wait!
Bro, let's fuck up some critters. A deep breath, a glance to confirm that all is ready, then click. As in the Arcanist? See, she looks so competent right now, isn't that crazy? And then she acts like that. Chores, oh, it's a Pikachu. Yevgeny instinctively positions himself in front of everyone. See, the guy has their best interests at heart. He's just too fucking scared.
Like digging the mine all over again.
It's old
That
man.
was the biggest achievement of my life!
Let's do this, comrades. Digging like this is no easy work.
No easy work. They roll up their sleeves, pressing forward confidently. Oh, we're fighting. We're fighting ghosts. Not that.
Nice start,
Realistically.
buddy.
Oh, they're magic. Sure. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter.
Newly made it here. Are you a rational members? There they are. Oh, there's a bubble. Are you a rational members?
They are much naughtier than the Foundation's kids.
Much naughty.
That was one powerful blow.
The square is now pocked by groups of disheveled workers resting after their rigorous exertion. Winsong's back is soaked and her simulator creaks with stress.
I think we can draw our conclusions now.
Creak. The old bench groans beneath her boots as she nimbly propels herself onto its narrow back.
Everyone, we have to admit,
Yeah,
this
let's
is
go.
going to be a risky operation, but it's also our last chance to protect our land and our people. We must explore the mine. There will be danger.
The children yearn
Yes,
for the mines.
some of us may get hurt, but we may also find this new resource and save our Rayashki.
Watch this resource wind up
For
being
you,
nothing,
for
like it just
me,
doesn't exist.
For everyone.
There is no cheer that rises to meet her. The only thing audible now is a distant sea breeze buffeting the
We can
shore.
already expect that critters have occupied the mine. We'll just have to work together to drive them away. We dug this mine with our own machines once, and we'll do it again.
Do it again.
This is how we've made it so far.
When I see Laplace had an obsession with predicting the future with a computer. Yeah. I mean, that was his whole thing. Head in charge is literally a robot, yes. This is a moment that people will make paintings about him, and yeah. Yeah, this is a very... It looks like something that would be very iconic, right? The crowd rises, pulling in together. Winsong looks up and forward.
However old they are now, they will always be our children, right?
Oh.
Yuri, you're good at the assembly.
Oh, look, the sun came off.
Nikita,
Nice.
you're going to be busy with the engines. Valeria, we need you for this cruise.
More and more stars light up. They outshine the twinkling snow. Kind of sounds like a remix of the some Russian martial song. I forget the name of it. Alright, that's chapter 13. Oh, God, I'm tired. Alright, I'm gonna call it for tonight. Tomorrow we're going through the rest of it and Eternity's Anecdote. I would have liked to go through the stories, but I think Eternity's ends soon. Yeah, in a day. Silver Knot ends in 15. Yeah, we're fine there. And then I guess for Villas, we're going to just look it up on YouTube because I do want to see, because I believe it's a follow-up. That's what I've heard. So I would like to watch that as well. So tomorrow, finish the story, do Eternity, and then day after tomorrow is Villa and Winsong. Shouldn't take too long. I believe the side stories are maybe 2 hours apiece, right? But for now, I'm gonna call it for the night. I am exhausted. Night, I say the sun's up, it's morning.